On this episode of the Star Wars Time Show, the guys fawn over the latest Baby Yoda collectibles while also lamenting how lazy and dumb they are for ignoring recent Star Wars comic book runs. They then talk some Tross by way of new behind-the-scenes assets before talking about recent updates surrounding Project Luminous. Thanks to superfan Greg Bird, they also riff on a few Mando Season 2 announcements courtesy of IgerCon. Finally, they wrap with a discussion over George Lucas's Star Wars Underworld, more Duel of the Fates concept art, and of course, the top 5 Star Wars fan artist features of the week. Cue the music. Everyone, welcome back to a brand new episode of Star Wars Time Show. And yes, I'm trying to work on my intro because I agree with some of you. It sounds like I'm coming through your fucking stereo system. Sometimes I get animated when Nick and I hit the go button. That's right, we run this thing on a go button, which used to be an easy button, but those have since been retired. So, as you heard, we got plenty of stuff to talk about. You know, no movies, but we know that. But there's other things. There's things to speculate on. There's things to sit there and hem and haw and be like, well, it could have been this. Star Wars could have been that. So we're going to, kind of fall into the type of conversations we've been having the past few weeks ever since the Star Wars cinematic universe went to bed. All right, buddy, so getting into things here. This was huge for me, this first topic we're getting into. Because I've been talking about this. I've been screaming about it ever since we saw Baby Yoda grace the screen at the end of S1E1 of the Mando. And, they tease us with some fucking mugs and cheap graphics. And then they're like, oh, but by the way, in May, you can get Black Series figures and nicer plushies. And what was I saying? I was like, you know what? I want a fucking 1-to-1 scale or a Hot Toys Baby Yoda. And what did we get? Like right after last week's episode, what did we get?
Oh yeah, we got the Sideshow 1-to-1 life-size Baby
Yes!
Yoda. Here we go.
Yes, $350. I didn't have to think about it, dude. When this announcement came out, it broke Sideshow's site. Like I'm sure you know about CDNs and whatnot. Like they're on Cloudflare. They literally the Cloudflare page is opening up saying, "Hey, your shit's not broken. The internet's not broken. Motherfucking Sideshow Collectibles is down due to the mad rush to look at the life-size 1-to-1 scale Baby Yoda."
I mean, it's nuts. If you look at this thing, we'll have the post linked in the podcast post for those of you following along. This thing looks like it's straight from the set. Like this Sideshow collectible, like if you can scroll through all the images and everything, like it looks like real ass Baby Yoda from the Mandalorian. It's like just so realistic.
I mean, except for what, $4.999995 million. Yeah, it is the exact same thing. It's, exactly. I mean, really, it's lacking the animatronics, is it?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I would say the skin, the build, the sculpt, that's all as authentic as you're going to get.
Oh, yeah. And for those of you wondering how big is Baby Yoda, he is 16 and a half inches tall. So what is that, like 1 foot 4.5 inches? Something like that. 13 inches wide. And then
so, I mean, if you're a normal sized person, which I am not, so on me, he probably comes up to my waist. On Nick, he probably comes up to like his kneecap, shin area.
Yeah.
So obviously, I jumped right on this. I've been waiting for this. I didn't give it any thought. It was just, if I can get in and he's still available for pre-order, I'm going for it. He is still available for pre-order. Like I said, 350 big ones, though, which is, quite more expensive than the 1-to-1 scale Baby Groot. But I think the Baby Groot was even smaller than this.
Yeah, I think Baby Groot would be smaller.
All you get with him, though, is he's clutching the control knob from the Razor Crest.
Yep.
And a stand, and it looks like he comes off the stand, but in terms of posing and whatnot, obviously he's a little baby in a sack. You're not really going to get much of that, but I was hoping for a few more accessories. Maybe if his hands folded over, they could have gave him a little cup.
Yeah.
Where's the fucking Mandalorian mythosaur necklace that Big Papa gives him at the end of the fucking season, right?
Yeah, I mean, basically, what all it looks like he can really do is kind of move his head. Like it looks like his head moves a little bit. Maybe you can move it up, you can move it down.
Yeah, there's also a part of me that I'm concerned that the flight stick knob is glued into that motherfucker.
So you can't remove it. So
Yeah,
you
so
won't even be able to do cool force hand motions.
Right, so here's the deal. I mean, it's like, is it a figure? Is it a statue? Are we going to be able to move it? Because they didn't really address any of its articulation, which they usually do. So I am a bit concerned. Now, am I going to go cancel my pre-order? Probably not, because the rest of you 1/6 scale and high-end statue bust people know. At Sideshow, if you do a pre-order, you commit an NRD, right? Non-refundable deposit. You are locked in. I mean, they lock it. It might be $30-$40, but that's $30-$40, right? I mean, you can buy some fucking fireworks, buy some Black Series figures for that money. So here's the deal. This is why I'm hemming and hawing now. A day after this comes out, Hot Toys is like, oh shit. Oh,
They beat
fuck.
us to it.
Sideshow just got the jump. They just shut their site down. There was such a rush. So Hot Toys comes out and they release a graphic. Our homies at Exclu Collective, Exclu Magazine on IG, they put out this post. Hot Toys is getting in the 1-to-1, the 1/4, and 1/6 scale Baby Yoda.
Yeah. It's
So now I'm going,
crazy.
did I fuck up? Because I'm a Hot Toys guy over a Sideshow guy any day. And yes, I have to buy my Hot Toys through Sideshow, but if we're talking figure lines, I love Hot Toys. I think they're a little more reasonable in price. I think their sculpts are better, the accessory kits. So now, Nick, I'm concerned that I might have went all in on the 1-to-1 that may not be the best 1-to-1. And FOMO is a huge thing in the collecting industry.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, we know that Hot Toys are like fucking crazy just from all of the work that we do on the toy photography community and the top 5, and we know that they're amazing looking. But I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe if you get the Sideshow and you don't like it, you might be able to swap somebody off for a Hot Toys, see if they'll just do a straight up trade with you.
Here's what my plan is. I don't see a reason for the 1/4 scale. Right?
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't have any other figures of that. Actually, I do. Ninja Turtles. So I could have fucking baby Yoda Ninja Turtles hanging out.
That would actually be kind of cool.
Yeah, it would work. They're both green, kind of mutiny looking, and I'm sure baby Yoda would love him some fucking pizza. But I think I'm not even thinking. 100% getting the 1/6 scale Hot Toys Baby Yoda because I already have Din pre-ordered 1/6 scale.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm considering getting the heavy 1/6 scale too. But if you got Din, you got to have Baby Yoda. So that's a no-brainer. To me, the concern is over. Is the Hot Toys 1-to-1 going to have a better kit? Is it going to be a little more reasonably priced?
Yeah. I mean, I
swear the Hot Toys 1-to-1 Baby Groot was not even $200.
I don't think that you made a bad choice, though. I mean, this is, again, like, you knew that this was going to fly off the shelves. This was going to be crazy.
I would never admit this was a bad choice. I mean, in the end, I'll be dropping about $1,000 on fucking Baby Yoda toys is all it's going to mean.
True.
I mean, I already have every plushie on pre-order, every anything that was a collectible that wasn't a stupid fucking decal mug. It's pre-ordered, and now I got this $350. The Hot Toys is probably going to be another $150, $180, and might have to get the 1-to-1 Hot Toys just to have them both anyways. Maybe one can ride in the fucking front seat with me, so I can, cruise the HOV lanes.
Yeah, I mean, I think that one of them, if you get both the 1-to-1 scale Sideshow and the Hot Toys, one of them is probably going to become Charlie's best friend.
That's a good point. Real. I mean, if we were cool and actually an awesome Star Wars podcast and fan page on IG, I'd probably do a giveaway, but we're not cool. So
we might do that again. I'm all about setting growth goals here. So I already said once we get to 5K, we'll do a run of hats. Me and Matt are figuring out the logistics on that.
Yeah, and on the hat subject, my friends, trust us, we're flattered. We are.
We really, yeah.
There's a few things. I am a stickler for quality. I don't want any bullshit, which means the hats are going to be pricey. We're talking, if you people want to buy them and get them shipped, with shipping, they may end up around $30. That's not that bad, but it is what it is. I'm like Nick. I don't feel like we are big enough to ask fans to pay for shit.
Yeah.
Call it crazy or what? Like Nick's calling it goals. I like that. Same thing with a giveaway. I would do that. It's not like we're poor, all right? I would give away something like a life-size baby Yoda if I knew our audience was big enough to actually give a fuck.
Exactly. I mean, look, neither, me and Matt are both, gainfully employed human beings while also being the best Star Wars podcast hosts in the galaxy. So, yes, we could do a giveaway.
At least the most uncivilized.
That is 100% true.
We can definitely check off that box.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think, 5K, if we get to 5K, we've already committed, we'll do a hat run. And if we get to 5K, I mean, who knows? Maybe we throw in a giveaway too. I mean, 5,000 followers on Instagram, while Matt has pointed out before, we can't even link yet.
Right. So it's like, what are we going to do over there? I mean, IG, honestly, it's our best community, but it's foobarred because of the app.
Yeah.
Like people, people on IG, if they really want to check out our content, they either have to go to the link tree in our bio or just know that they should be going to fucking StarWarsTime.net daily.
Yeah. So we'll figure out a way. So, I mean, 5,000 hats are happening for sure.
Even at this, it's like IG schmig. I'm concerned about podcast numbers. That's what I want. I want podcast numbers. And Nick and I, we just had our best month of all time. We don't know if it's real yet, though. I mean, we almost
constantly
hit 1,800 downloads for 4 shows. Okay.
Yeah. In 1 month. I mean, it feels fucking fantastic to know that for at least 1 month, you guys have come out and supported us this way to open up 2020. And like Matt said, but we're the kind of people who are like, well, maybe a bunch of people accidentally clicked. In our heads, we're like, maybe our podcast, platform is just duplicating downloads.
We're not that nuts. Like, we don't hate ourselves that much. There's some reality factored into us thinking we blow and no one listens or no one will continue to listen. We've been doing this for a while, and for the most part, people don't fucking listen. We've somehow tapped into a group of what we affectionately call the assholes now, and it's caught on IG, so I guess we're running with it. Did you? I don't know. I know Nick. He scans it probably not as much as I do, but everyone that made the roll call last week did comment that, hey, I'm happy to be in the group of assholes. So.
There we go. I saw some of the comments.
It's probably not the best fan name, but that's kind of where we're at right now. And I am a moron with a potty mouth, so that's what happens.
It kind of follows along with.
But I'll tell you what, if we keep stringing together 1,500, 2,000 type of download months, that's when I'm going to start feeling like, you know what? Nick and I may be tapping into something here. So
maybe getting close.
No one's getting happy yet. I'm Mr. Glass Half Empty. The world's going to end fucking tonight. Okay? So if February's a disaster, you all are going to catch an earful because in the end, Nick and I, we put out fantastic content. It's on you motherfuckers to click on it, rate it, review it, like it, sub it, share it.
Yep. That's 100% true.
We don't want to do the dance now. So.
We're awesome here. We already know that.
Right.
So
you guys need to now pay homage to us through clicks and listens and downloads and even tell people that like Star Trek, okay?
Yeah, I know. I know it's tough to talk to those people, to talk to the real Trekkies like that wear the ears and got phaser guns, shit like that. But they get them into it. You can do it. If
Speaking of Star Trek, man, that Picard series is pretty good.
Really? I have to get on
They did the first one free on YouTube. I don't know if it's still free. It was a limited run on YouTube.
Okay.
But it was well worth my time. I love Jean-Luc. Fucking love Patrick. So I might shell out the $5 a month to catch
for the
that.
CBS.
Yeah.
For those of you out there who do, I mean, obviously everybody here is a Star Wars fan. Go watch the movie Fanboys if you have not seen it. It probably came out 10, 12 years ago, and it's about a group of crazy, psycho Star Wars fans who drive across the country to break into Skywalker Ranch to watch Episode 1 before it's released in theaters. And in that movie, Seth Rogen's in it, and he plays a Trekkie, and there's like a battle between the Star Wars fans who are the main characters and then the Trekkies. So it's worth the watch if you have not seen Fanboys.
I get that there's beef between the two. I mean, I think it's clear that the one saga is I don't know, cooler, I guess, more mainstream. I mean, in the end, normal people still look at all of us as fucking nerds.
Yeah.
But, like, if you want to get down into the nerddom, I still think Star Wars is cooler than Star Trek. Star Trek was more... It was a very positive message Star Trek put out there, right?
Yeah, it's also...
They didn't really have the cool gadgets. The phasers or, like, whatever. There were no lightsabers or real blasters.
Yeah, it was more focused on, like, actual space exploration and, like,
I'm a
science,
Star Trek
stuff
fan.
like
I ain't
that.
shitting on Star Trek. I didn't watch the classic show, but I enjoyed the movies except the first one. I thought that was way too fucking far out. The rest of the movie's pretty good. I love TNG, love the TNG movies. Clearly, why I just promoted Picard. So,
Yeah, I mean, it's everybody enjoys, you know, if you're in this geek nerddom sphere, everybody likes shit that's not just Star Wars.
Sci-fi
Like,
fucking owns in general. Like,
Yeah,
space
like,
or
let's-
far future type of shit, I'm all for it. Like, Altered Carbon's coming back soon. I'm jacked for
Yep.
that.
Yep.
I love basically not reality. 'Cause
Yeah,
reality
100%.
blows.
Especially
Speaking of
right-
reality, buddy, the comic scene. And before we get into this topic, I got a little tangent to go on after we just wrapped the tangent to start the show. So Star Wars comics, right? If you've been following the show, you've probably been hearing me lament about the fact that I'm a lazy asshole and haven't been following and staying on top of the newer comics. And the comics are putting out some great stories. Nick's covering The Rise of Kylo. When the intern was around, he was doing some of the new Vader runs. And, you know, I'm always sitting here like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, Nick. I'm going to get back into the comics like a big boy and read and blah, blah, blah. And literally years have gone by since I've made these proclamations. Well,
I've been here for all of them. Yeah.
last week, after the show, I started planning for it. I was like, okay, what do you want to get into, motherfucker? Because you know your ADD head. If you just open Comixology, your eyes are going to be going like boing, 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 like all over the place. Like, I want that, I want that, I want that. I should go there. So I made the decision, Nick, that I'm only going to jump into the new Star Wars run, which kicked off in 2020.
Yep.
The new Vader run, which I believe is going to kick off today, if you're listening, Wednesday, February 5th. The Rise of Kylo, obviously. And then just because I'm a homer, I'm going to go back and finish the volumes I have left from I think it's the 2019 Vader run, basically the one that picked up right after Revenge of the Sith. So that was my plan. Well, yesterday I finally got paid. I was like, all right, Comixology, here we go. Buy, subscribe, pre-order, boom. You know, they're just coming down left and right. Download them all, and I open my iPad and fire up the Vader to continue on from where I left off literally a year or so ago. and right away, Nick, I was like, I am the biggest fucking Star Wars fan asshole in the galaxy. Like, why have I been robbing myself of this type of Star Wars content? You know, Nick and I are bitching week in and week out about how, you know, George himself and now Disney, they kind of missed expectations on the latest trilogies. And we have these fucking comic book writers and artists that are just weaving some fantastic tales that are apparently canon. The art is amazing. And if you love my man Vader, I don't think there's any place better to get the type of Vader stories we all would cut off our dick and balls to see on the big screen.
Yeah, I mean, this stuff that we've put out, and like it's my fault too, because there's two parts to this partnership. I know Matt doesn't read. I don't know if he's missing an eye.
Well,
and he
clearly
won't
I
tell
can
me.
look at pictures now.
Yeah,
At least.
he can see the pictures. He just can't read the words. The words are too small. They're hard to comprehend. But I came from I read a lot of old EU stuff. Like, I read comic books before this.
Nick used to try to write his own fucking fiction.
Dude,
Like, this motherfucker is basically an English major.
Yeah, I have. I mean, still somewhere on my laptop, I could dig up for you 7
We should
chapters
do
of
it,
a
dude.
book I read.
I think we should
yeah.
fucking do it and just like either like roast it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I may send it to you just so you can read it, but I'll tell you for those of you who are really interested in what my tale was about, it was me and my friend first kind of cooked up the idea at first. Phil, my friend who listens, loyal listener to the show, we cooked up this idea because we had both read the Darth Bane series and we're like, oh shit, that was really, really cool. So what about what about if we write a prequel book to the Darth Bane series that it's more like focused on, Lord Khan and Qasim and all the other teachers that were there. James Khan, yes, the guy from
Godfather.
Godfather, yeah, and then his son too, Scott Khan, the guy from Varsity Blues.
There you go.
But
5-0.
it was fun. It was a cool thing. It was like a Jedi goes undercover as a Sith into the Sith Academy on this planet called Eclipse. You could look it up. It was an old canon. I don't know if it's still a new. And he's literally on like a Jedi fucking Black Ops mission, and he's force communicating with his master back on.
So you guys essentially
Coruscant.
are the first people to contribute to Project Luminous, it sounds like.
I mean, we have a
'Cause
contract.
it sounds like
right
you're
now.
doing exactly what they're going to do. I mean, we're going to get into that, but I
Dude,
mean, you're almost, I know you're talking pre-High Republic era, but
Oh yeah.
isn't that the tale we've been told, that it's going to be a band of specialized Jedis that are being sent out to the unknown to explore and use their powers and stuff?
100%, dude. And like the thing is our like, yeah.
Hey, let's go. Hey, Bob, sign this motherfucker up for the story group.
I got
He's
a treatment.
available.
I got a treatment if you want to read it, Bob.
He's
Just
sitting
let
in a
me know.
studio that smells like cat piss right now. I'm sure he can take the call to get out of there. He's
I would
looking for an out.
gladly take that call. But yeah, I mean, like I've always loved the expanded universe content and everything like that. So I don't know. I guess it was just like when it rebooted, I was trying to find a place to start.
That's what it is for me.
Yeah.
It's so overwhelming now because it essentially rebooted. Well, the comics did in 2015 when Marvel essentially rebooted everything.
Yeah.
They're like whatever, and just the canon dump, like you said. But I started on just the straight Star Wars back then, made my way, I think 60, 70, 80 issues in. But I mean, that one just ended in 2019. I think that was a 4-year run to essentially tell tales, I believe, post A New Hope, prior Battle of Hoth, because that's what this new set in 2020 is going to start telling.
Okay.
Just think about all those fucking stories
Yeah, it's just
that we've pissed away
sad.
by sitting behind mics, sweating our asses off, and having 10 people listen to us.
Yeah. So now we're gonna commit, like Matt said. I'm gonna get on the Star Wars 2020.
Me
run.
too, dude. Like, I'm going to be doing it for the angle of, can we get YouTube content? Like, 100%. That's where I'm going. I see what Star Wars Theory's been up to. He's a smart man. He just reads shit and then puts it out there. And then people are like, all right, he knows everything. Well, here we go.
And I'll start putting out reviews like I do for the Rise of Kylo stuff and everything like that. So it's all in content creation mindset. But then it will also help us fill the time on the podcast during the downtime between the TV shows and the movies.
Because I'm telling you, man, the stories that come out of these books are heads and tails above what we've been given outside of The Mandalorian. And I like Disney Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, the stories that are being told, I mean, I think that Charles Soule is one of the primary writers.
Yeah, he's the one on Rise. I mean, that's one.
Yeah.
I haven't started Rise yet because I'm such that's the other thing this comic book is. A return to comics has reminded me of how much I love fucking Darth Vader. And again, that's why I hate fucking Revenge of the Sith. It is. I'm not going down that path. Literally, people that have even listened to the show for 6 months now can probably regurgitate my spiel on Revenge of the Sith, but it's all because of my love for Darth Vader. I fucking love that character.
Yeah. I mean, and there's, like you said, there's years worth of content for him in the comic book series since 2015.
Well, you also get his point of view, which you never get.
Yeah,
I mean, you
never
got
see
a
it.
sliver of Vader's point of view in Jedi, essentially, when even before Luke made him turn. I mean, even on Endor, Vader's like, "Listen, pal, I get it. I'm fucking lost, though.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
give
like,
up.
I'm too far gone.
Just
You
give
can't."
up." He's like, "Dude, give up. I am
And, like,
fucked."
Those
And that's all you get in
moments-
these comics, man. You get inside the mind of Vader, Anakin, and like the fucking torture he was living.
Oh yeah, dude. That's why one of my favorite books from old canon was Rise of the Dark Lord. And it was all from Vader's perspective. I mean, you're essentially, well, it wasn't all
Is
from
that
Vader's
the
perspective.
it's like a purple hardback that came out early 2000s, like still when the prequels were coming out?
I don't remember the color of it, but it was during the prequel time.
Okay, because that's when I did read books and shit. And if it's the same one, yes, that is.
It's essentially
that's
told
that's what this comic run is essentially, because it picks up right there. I mean, I was one of the books I read last night. I mean, just to show people who haven't or who have, and you just want to relive this moment. Vader was reliving the high ground scene, but this time he fully utilized the dark side in fucking. I mean, basically, just Obi-Wan was nothing. I mean, Vader caught him midair, disarmed him, fucking crashed him down, and then threw a wave of lava on top of him, all with the Force. Like, it barely moved.
Wow.
He didn't even move because, he was standing on his little thing, and Obi-Wan's like, "Don't do it, Anakin." Like, they were still saying the same lines, but now Anakin was reliving it as his new self.
Fully realized Sith Lord. Yeah. I mean, shit like that is like, and Matt and I were talking before we went live earlier today, and we were like, man, if they just took some of these comic threads and made them into like, not even movie content. You now have Disney Plus. You could make animated series content. You could make live action series content.
Well, dude, I mean, it's like those videos they were churning out, and they promised they were going to do it all last year, but they just mysteriously stopped for some reason. Those Galaxy of Adventure deals,
yeah,
that would be perfect, especially in that visual style. Where it's kind of manga, anime-ish,
absolutely,
very in your face, like electric guitar and shit, and flashing lights. Where you're like, oh, I'm gonna have a fucking seizure, but this is badass. I mean, come on! Imagine Vader just quelling an entire rebellion by himself.
Dude, it would be perfect. But I mean,
I digress.
We're getting good content, and it's yes, you have to read it. But I know for people nowadays don't like to read, but these are really worth it. I mean, the reason that we're here is because there's a fucking incredible reveal coming in the Star Wars 2020 comic run, and it's about the one thing in this whole sequel trilogy that we still have zero clue about, and it was hinted at in TFA, and it is how...
And wasn't that one of our big, like, please don't do this to us, and they fucking did it?
And they did it, yeah. So, like, we all want to know how the Skywalker family saber just comes back from wherever the fuck it went in Episode 5.
And JJ's the one that teed it up. How the fuck does he not address that in his movie to finish?
I think it's just because he didn't have time. We'll just go to like, hey, they fucking hated him. They were burning his ass, which is all probably true, to be honest with you. Oh yeah,
I mean, pretty much anything that's leaked in the past 6 to 8 months for Star Wars has been legit. So at this point, Star Wars leaks to me is a fucking essentially
Bible.
The Disney website.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad because he teed that up with Maz Kanata and TFA, saying that's a story for another time. But we never got it. And now we're going to be getting that through this Star Wars run, and Star Wars #2, which is out now, by the way. Go out and grab it. And if you don't want to hear about this before you read it, spoiler, give it 10 seconds and then just fast forward a little bit in the episode. But spoiler, here it comes. We find out what happened to this saber once Luke's fucking hands chopped off.
You sort of do. I mean,
not fully.
This is a big cliffhanger for sure.
Yeah. So we see in this comic a hooded figure with his hand outstretched holding Luke's lightsaber, and a text bubble says "Follow your destiny." And this is clearly like there's a lot of speculation about who this could be. In the post, I had a couple ideas myself, but like it is a figure that is in a brown robe.
Who are you going with?
I thought it's because I'm looking at the person and he's wearing a glove, and I feel like that might be a hint because nope, Obi-Wan Kenobi doesn't wear a glove. It's already established through new canon, through the sequel trilogy.
I guess he does have a Kenobi-ish tunic, huh?
He does. He's got like a official Jedi tunic, it looks like. But he's wearing this black glove. Obi-Wan Kenobi only ever wears a glove when he's in his...
I see where you're going with this.
Yeah.
Like, go ahead, get it out. Let the cat out of the bag. Who is it?
So for me, I'm either leaning towards Cal Kestis or Kanan right now. But the thing is, actually, I'm probably leaning harder towards Cal because Kanan wears half gloves, so his fingers are sticking out. If you just go back and look at pictures of Kanan, this guy's wearing a full glove. Cal Kestis wears one glove. If you look at all of his character models, he wears one glove on his hand. And it's either him or it's like Obi-Wan Kenobi Ghost, because now we know that Force Ghosts can fully interact with their
Kenobi would never
world.
fucking go glove pimp. No way.
No,
That's
they wouldn't.
way out of character.
So like,
I think it's Luke come back in time from the world between worlds.
oh shit, that's a good fucking call. Wow.
I don't know.
I mean, but that would line up though because of his hand.
Is that the right arm though? That's what I've been trying to figure out. But
It's
I'm
his
fucking
right arm.
stupid when it comes to doing that, trying to figure out if that's the right glove.
It's his right arm. And I mean, like, I don't know if you look at the person, this is maybe just me looking into it too much. Look at the person's chest. Do you think that that's like, you see how like, is that boobs? I know that sounds dumb.
Yeah, it could be a pair of titties.
It could be a woman. And if that's the case, it could be fucking
It's
Rey.
very interesting. Hopefully people are looking at this image. I mean, I do try to capture the shit we talk about in the YouTube version.
Yeah.
But once Nick moves, I am going to convince him that we're going to start recording our little chubby heads and desktops when we do
I need
this.
to get an SWT hat that doesn't make me look like I'm a fucking moron. Because those, like, our hats are of fantastic quality, but I have a tiny head, and like this shit just looks weird on me. So I have to get a dad hat. Like, that's the only type of hats that I can wear, dad hats. But I mean, there's a lot of possibilities. The world between worlds opens up just massive. It could be Rey coming back from whenever. Like, we know that she made it out. We know she's still alive, and we also know that this saber is very key to her
this is
survival.
tricky, man. Follow your death. So it's someone that knows they're going somewhere. So could be time travel, but the Force, you can also see into the future. So
Yeah, it could be Force Ghost.
but yeah, I mean, yeah, could be lumps in the chest, but then you look at the hand, and I don't know, man. That's a very manly hand to me. But
It is, yeah.
you never know. It could be a powerful woman. Who knows?
There's a lot of opportunity. I mean, it could we're just
it's
throwing out,
Adigalia, right?
yeah, we're throwing out like people that we know, but this could be a completely new character. This could be fucking Mara Jade, like.
It's someone that knows Luke's supposed to do something, but
Yeah.
for some reason this person also wants his lightsaber.
I was thinking like, what is it, Mace? But no, it's not Mace because the guy is clearly like a Caucasian person.
Yeah, I was gonna say the skin's definitely not black.
Yeah. So I mean,
I don't know. I thought it was interesting too. I mean, I'm gonna start reading these once I get caught up on Vader, but I'm down for this type of stuff.
Oh yeah,
It just
100%.
goes back to the tangent. I mean, even this stuff, it's like, hey, why not? Why the fuck not? And it mostly is pictures. Nick's not lying.
Yeah, I mean,
and if
you're
you do it
reading-
digitally, you hardly even have to use your hands.
Yeah,
you
dude,
just sit there with a finger and go. Bleh, bleh.
The Marvel Comics app has the guided read, and like
Yeah.
you don't even have to like move your eyes to the different panels. It does it for you. So
Yeah, you just tap and it goes doot doot, zooms in on the important shit. I mean, I use Comixology. I've used that for years. It's so easy. And I mean, some of these books I'd love to have physical copies, but I already have so much Star Wars shit in my house.
yeah,
It's just the convenience and ease of use of digital comics. It's too nice.
I mean, I'll tell you right now, like I've already pre-ordered Tross on Vudu, and I'm not buying any more physical copies until that massive whatever number disc 4K UHD HDR $300 bundle drops.
yeah, dude. I've given up on discs of any kind for any franchise. I mean, at this point, I'm considering, do I even need to buy Endgame? Because I never bought Endgame. It's not like I'm protesting anything. I just was like, whatever, I'll get it when it comes out. But
It's on
didn't
Disney
think about.
Plus.
I know that's what I'm getting to. It's like, do I even need it now? But
think-
I'm a freak where I'm like, well, I have all the digital versions of the other ones. I got to have the complete collection. That type of shit.
I think Disney's plan though is to rotate content more frequently than Netflix. So like right now, I think they'll eventually pull it.
We need to talk about that. We forgot to bring that up. Our buddy Greg sent us a nice little hot tip before we went live. But yeah, we're kind of getting a preview of their schedule. Let's just do this real quick, buddy.
Yep.
So today, and comes from our buddy Greg Bird, Star Wars Black Series 2019. Give the man a follow, please. He's our boy. He goes out, tracks down stories when Nick and I are out doing whatever. I think I was pumping iron. You know,
I
you gotta
was
get
working.
swole. Hoo-ah! But anyways, Greg sent us this link, and it looks like we know the month at least when The Mandalorian Season 2 is coming back, my friends, and it is October 2020. That's right. Bob Iger dropped this on a
Investors call.
Yeah, basically rich people call today.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. I mean, we knew it was coming in the fall, didn't quite know when. Now we do. It's dropping October, which means it'll probably be over by the end of November. If they roll like they did this first season, which I assume they will, because they were already in production before this shit came out and exploded. So it's not like they quite had the balls they probably do now of going, yeah, we just fucking own that shit. We can do whatever we want. So I bet season 2 might be very similar in terms of the production, at least.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I mean, if they stick with the 8-episode arc, then that would kind of line up with their next release, because Mandalorian is going to be essentially shoved in between other Disney Plus originals coming with The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
And that kind of ties us back to what we were talking about before. I mean, see that, people? There was a reason for this little tangent.
Yeah.
It's Disney Plus. That's a very smart strategy to me. I like that, where they're like, okay, you get The Falcon in winter, August 2020. Then we'll give you a break. You can fuck around with all the other shit. Or quit and come back. We don't care. We've made it like trillions already.
26 million paid subscribers is the most recent number. That's
ridiculous.
Nuts.
Ridiculous. But I still think Netflix owns the world. And then they're like, all right, take a break for a little bit. And then, okay, October, seasons are starting to change a little bit. Hey, Mandalorian, everyone wants some Mandalorian. Okay, that now is a guaranteed sell. All right, great. And they're like, all right, oh, you guys are sad. Mando's gone. Baby Yoda. Hopefully you know its name by then. Oh, here's WandaVision, which if everyone caught the Super Bowl ad, that shit looks bonkers. Like
it
that,
does.
I am intrigued by that type of stuff.
Yeah, it's like they're trapped in like an old 90s sitcom. Like it looks
changing
interesting.
appearances left and right. So
yep.
Yeah, definitely. I like what Disney Plus has on the horizons here. So I have no clue how this even ties back into the comic thread outside of the comics put out cool shit and Disney Plus does too. And that's pretty much all we're going to have until Disney and Lucasfilm get their shit together and start making some motherfucking movies.
Yeah, I mean, and if Kathleen is right, she said that there should be a female director for Star Wars very soon. That's something she dropped, I think, earlier today, just a quick quote when somebody asked her about female directors in Star Wars. I mean, for those of you who are following along, we've already had some. Deborah Chow, Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yeah, they're talking like the big stuff.
Yes,
like,
the big screen, but still. Yeah, man, I mean, Mando coming back at that time is perfect. I mean, and it sounds like Disney Plus is like hitting its stride this year. You have Clone Wars coming out this month, and then you're gonna
hold on. Why we're talking? I mean, I'm glad I looked. So other things from this Iger stuff. I mean, it looks like he's looking into spin-off shows for The Mandalorian.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like, why not? I mean, what characters do you think he'd roll with? Bill Burr, like that little faction?
Dude, I would love to see fucking, like, I feel like Moff Gideon, depending on how he is approached in this next season, like a prequel series about Moff Gideon would be fucking cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally.
I mean, there's a ton of great character options to follow here. Even if it's like even if you have Carl Weathers as Greef Karga, you know this guy is the head of the Bounty Hunters Guild.
And just Carl's just great in the fucking show, too.
Yeah,
like, I love that guy. It's like, what do you say to Baby Yoda at the end? Do that thing.
It's like, do the little hand thing, baby.
Yeah, the little magic thing with your hands.
Yeah.
And then the little one just waves at him.
I mean,
that'd be sweet.
I mean, you could even
sweet. Yeah, why not do spin-offs of Mandalorian? I mean,
fucking Cara Dune.
You dumb fucks finally figured out what to give Star Wars fans. You might as well capitalize on it, you know?
Yeah, it makes sense. So hopefully, they don't fuck up the possibility to really capitalize on these other characters and build out their arcs and possible second series, associated with the Mandalorian. But I mean, it's great to hear. October 2020, we're coming back already, people. Not even a full year off from this show, and we will be back and going again.
That is nice. I hope they keep that pace up, because that's normal with any type of TV. Even, I mean, it sucks it's only 8 episodes and they're mini, but hot damn, were they quality.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm super.
The one other thing Big Bobby said here before we leave him is he is confirming Star Wars is basically TV based for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, until the 2022. So
yeah, maybe. I mean, right now the quote is Lucasfilm will take a bit of a hiatus in terms of theatrical releases.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to tell the guy. I mean, I don't want to go into our lamentation about Star Wars movies being, put on hiatus or put to bed for the time being.
Yeah, no, we've done that too often. I have a feeling we'll do it again here by the end of this podcast because we're a bunch of dicks. But I mean, come on, guys, don't mess up this Disney Plus stuff. Like,
just don't mess up.
Enjoy it. Enjoy actually getting a compliment and having people not want to light it on fire.
Yeah, find your content stride on Disney Plus, and then give your teams time to develop a strong return to the big screen. That's all I got to say about it. So, I mean, Mandalorian, looking forward to it, as well as all of the the Marvel content coming out to Disney Plus too. Subscribe if you aren't. I mean, speaking of the Star Wars live action films, I mean, we got some new behind the scenes stuff from Rise of Skywalker that was actually pretty impressive, right, Matt?
Oh, yeah. This past week, we got an image dump of production assets from, who is this, Rick Carter and Kevin Jenkins. I guess they're production designers on the film. And in that, we got imagery.
Yes.
So, I mean, I love Star Wars, but I love cinema in general. I love the art of filmmaking. I'm not a filmmaker myself. I'm just a fan. And it's this type of stuff, these production designer people. And when you get to see images like this, and I don't know if I'll have these in the video version, so you might have to hit the site for these. I mean, it's nuts, some of these sets they build. I mean, for example, the jungle set. I mean, that fucking ship, the whole thing's real. Like whole thing from front to back. I mean, I'm sure they cut out some of the middle I mean, it still looks like a massive ship, but I mean, that was real. All the jungle foliage and shit around it, all that was real. It's just
Pisana was mostly real. Like they added in some digital actors and stuff like that to fill that big giant party, but like the desert's real, the tents are real, the fucking little setups are real. I mean, the vehicles are real. It's incredible the amount of work. And say what you will about the Rise of Skywalker, if you're not a fan, that's fine. But like the amount of work that the production team put in, the visual effects team put in, is just stunning. Like,
and you gotta appreciate the heavy use of practical. And I did return to see it. Nick.
You did? You got your 5th view in?
I went Friday. I took the little one again. I was like, you know what? She needs to see this one more time in the theater.
Did she make it?
Just with the old man. So I picked her up early from daycare. We roll over there. I bring her little Star Wars backpack full of candy to smuggle in. She's like the ninja. No one's going to shake down a little kid. So we load up all the good stuff with her. And she made it through. I mean, it was great. I took some videos. She had some great reactions. It was after Rey blows up the cargo ship.
Yeah, where she thinks Chewie's dead.
She goes, just unprompted. I mean, I'm assuming she learned this at daycare, and this is in a movie theater, so I had to correct her. But she goes, "Oh, please." Like she was just so incredulous to that just happening. She's like, "Oh, please." Like, "Oh, come on." No way, right? How could you do that? And then the other great moment. So she made it to the end this time. The last time she only made it to the confrontation between Rey and Palpy, and then passed out. So she got to see the whole thing. And when Rey goes down, she turns to me and she goes, "Daddy, is Rey dead?" And I'm just like, "Yeah."
"Oh."
And she goes, "Is Rey dead?" And I go, yeah, bub, she's gone. And she goes, Daddy, is Ray really dead? I said, yeah, she had to use all of her, life force to take him out. And she goes, oh, come on. Another one, like, fuck you.
It's like, why?
Yeah, she's like, come on, dude. Why you doing this to me? And then of course she comes back and she's like, kept saying it literally until Ray's hand moved. I said, look, Bob, look. And then she, was accepting of it, but it was funny. And I asked her what was her favorite part, and she said, when Ray beat Palpatine. So the part I thought that would freak her the fuck out was her favorite part, where literally she nukes his face, Raiders of the Lost Ark style.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, that's a good part. I mean, that part's fucking great. She pulls the saber up, and I'm all the Jedi, and then bam.
Yeah, that's and I will agree with you. As much as I've been down on it in particular in these past few episodes of our show, going to see it again. I mean, I'm sure there was like my little kids here factor in there. I still got hit a few times, like to the point. Oh man, the whole Leia Ben redemption deal.
Oh yeah,
So again, Charlie was just like, okay, what the fuck's happening here? All right, why is Leia laying down? Why is she not moving? But when all that's happening, it's starting to hit me, and I'm trying to explain it to my little kid who has no clue that Daddy's a weirdo and lets this stuff emotionally affect him. But I'm like all choked up, getting ready to cry, and I'm like, Charlie, it's just Leia had to help her son. And I'm like all choking up, and she's probably sitting there like, oh my god, what a fucking creep. But no, it was great. It was awesome. So I'm glad I saw it for number 5. And yes, it was mostly to keep in line with Nick because I couldn't let him win.
Look, we got to stay even here on the
Couldn't do it. No, Nick wants to. I might even try to go one more time just to say I'm number 1.
Just to one up me.
I am the soulless one in this equation.
I mean,
my lightsaber is red forever.
I would not fault you for it, but I mean, right now, I mean, you seriously have to wonder like how much longer your theatrical run's going to last. I don't know what's left, like how many showings are left per day at my Regal here, but I know that a couple of weeks ago we were down to like 4 a day from
we've been rolling 4 for I'd say at least the past 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, so
they've even started shifting the times because that kind of fucked me on Friday. I was going to try to get a little earlier, but we had to go later because I just completely rescheduled what they were running.
Yeah.
But it was well worth it. It is. I don't know. It's got all sorts of fucking problems. I'm just sitting there going like, fuck, man. Like when Oscar delivers the line about Palpatine, it's like, oh, fuck. And then when Driver, when he drops the Palpatine on Rey, it's another one just like, it just doesn't feel right.
I will tell you one thing that they immensely screwed up. And it's not even in the making of the film. The moment that Palpatine announces himself to the galaxy is done in Fortnite, like in the video game. Like that pisses me off to no end. Because that fucking, like if you haven't seen that, Matt, just go on YouTube, type in fucking Fortnite Emperor Palpatine Return and watch that video. If that shit was in the movie, it's a completely different fucking game.
Are you kidding me? Like this is real?
No, it's real. They did the announcement that I mean, we knew that Palp was back from fucking Celebration, but like the actual message that is in the crawl that goes out to the galaxy was done in Fortnite. It's fucked up. Like if you put that scene, if you don't have, like you said, that Oscar scene where he's saying like, Palpatine is back and whatever, if you actually have that moment that was done in the video game in the movie, the way that opens up your story and the reactions that you can catch from all over the galaxy and then the rallying cry that comes from it would have been awesome. But they did it in fucking Fortnite. And like,
wow.
If you haven't seen that, go watch it and then hate yourself a little bit more because that was another.
Yeah, I'm watching it.
Like it was an incredible moment. It was so fucking cool. And it was done with literal cartoon characters jumping around with fucking pickaxes in their hand. Like, it's disgusting.
Gotta sell out. Gotta sell out.
And
Gotta
look,
get as many eyes on it as you can.
Dude,
Oh,
it's
wow.
just
That's depressing.
It is. It's nuts because that moment, like you hear, it literally it emanates throughout the entire galaxy.
Yeah,
and
like
you
it's
hear
time
Palpatine.
to correct a great error or whatever.
Yeah, it was fucking so cool, and they fucked it up by putting it in Fortnite before the movie releases.
Poor JJ.
I was gonna say I guarantee you, JJ was like, "Why did you do that? I could have used that." Like.
So, yeah, that's why the crawl is the way it is. I mean,
Yeah.
Because I remember when the intern and I, the first time we saw it, I was like, oh, wow, they're just fucking getting right down and dirty with this shit.
Dude,
Because you and I, even reading the fucking leaks, like two bunch of fucking dipshits, it's still, we thought, the Palp thing wasn't going to happen until halfway in, whatever.
dude,
He was on screen within a minute.
Yeah, like even if you open with that, like you have your crawl setting up essentially
No, you're exactly right. You can still have the crawl like, oh, blah, there's been rumors of this. And then as it pans down, that's, you're at the Resistance jungle base for whatever, fine.
Yeah,
And
they're
they hear
planning
the
a
message.
first order incursion. Like,
Right,
and
they hear the
boom.
fucking message. They're like, oh, shit.
Dude, that changes the movie completely. That adds maybe 10, 15 minutes to it. So you get back to your 2 hour and 35, 2 hour and 40 minute time. And
You
that
don't even
opens
need 10,
up.
You can do that in fucking 5 minutes. If that, you can do that
yeah.
in 3 minutes.
Like, and it opens up your whole fucking story. Like, it just, the fact that they did it in Fortnite just kills my soul a little bit.
Wow. I'm
'Cause
glad
it
I
was-
didn't know about that until now because it just kind of makes me hate myself.
Yeah, like, it was such a good fucking moment. But
Star Wars, I love you, but you are a stupid motherfucker.
yeah. But anyway,
Anyways,
back to
yeah,
these behind the
behind the
scenes
scenes stuff is neat. The other one, I mean, the images are one thing, but we also got a VFX reel today, and that's where the good shit is. And in particular, I mean, they cover some of the key scenes you would think they'd cover, but I really like the de-aging scene, and that's because I honestly didn't think it looked fantastic. I do think Carrie's looked off. Mark was a lot better.
Yeah.
But you can see exactly where they clipped him from. I mean, the Carrie stuff straight from Jedi, and Mark is actually from Empire, isn't it?
Yeah, it's when he's laying down on the ground, like after Vader had hit him. Like,
Right, yeah,
in
looking
that
up.
fight.
So
Yeah.
there's a lot. It's just interesting to see what parts of the movie truly were VFX based. I mean, the Babu Frick segment's pretty great.
Yeah, the Babu one's pretty
There's
cool.
literally a motherfucker just stand there, and they essentially, if you're toy photography, they just wipe them out. They just like, oh, green screen, all right, we'll wipe you out, and you just become the background, and there's Babu. I'm Babu Frick.
The Maz Kanata was a full animatronic in this movie, not a digital character like she was in TFA. So it was really cool to see how they brought that to life. I mean, everything,
these
really,
animatronics are getting ridiculous.
Oh yeah, dude, it's nuts. It's nuts. Like just the level of, I mean, like we've all seen it with Baby Yoda, but like you said, Babu Frick with freaking, Maz Kanata with the,
just Maz. I mean, I don't know if anyone watched The Dark Crystal on Netflix, but even some of the Skeksis stuff, they still made the Gelfling look pretty stupid, but that was on purpose, just for authenticity.
Yeah. So I mean, these two things. So one of them is it's a PDF link that we're gonna have in the post, and then one of them is an actual ILM behind the scenes video that's in there as well. Both of them have really cool stuff in them, so make sure to check them out. I mean, like we were saying, is The Rise of Skywalker a perfect movie? Of course not. Like, could it have been better? Yes. We literally just went over one way it could have been better. But it's still really cool to see the magic that these visual effects artists do, these
Fucking
set designers,
Fortnite.
production designers do. I know, Fortnite. Fucking Fortnite,
dude. You've just knocked me off the rails. Like, I don't know if I can get back on. I'm just sitting there like, it's okay.
I mean, when I first saw it, I was like, did they really? Because I saw it before the movie came out. And
I
was like,
can't
did
believe
they
I
really
missed that.
fucking
I
do
think I
that?
purposely missed it because I do remember they were doing some promo, but I was like, whatever, they're going to show like a fucking clip. And how many fucking clips do I need to see? I've already ruined it for myself by reading the
No,
leaks.
dude, they literally took.
And that's what it was? I mean, it's
Yeah.
literally the Emperor calling out to the entire galaxy.
It was literally like probably one of the most important scenes that wasn't in the movie. Like,
Well, yeah, it almost makes the cringy Poe going, oh, Palpatine. Like, to me, that's almost on the level of the Ray Shields line from Revenge of the Sith. I'm not kidding.
yeah, I mean, that's not the way that you announce that. Like, now, granted, it's not announced because the audience knows, because the first 5 minutes of the movie, like, you get to see Palpatine, but like, that's the fucking way you did it in Fortnite is the way you should have done it in the movie. Like, that is awesome.
It's like, dude, the crawl directly addresses this Fortnite thing. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
it
realizing now.
does.
Literally, the crawl literally says, yeah, the Emperor just made a proclamation, essentially.
Yeah, he did, and it was in the
that's why I was
fucking
like,
video.
man, they're just like, hey, fuck it, here we go. I felt like it was that's when the first time I saw it, I was like, oh boy, this could be a little rough in terms of the pace here. They might be shoving this shit down our throats. And
Yeah.
you're 100% right. Like, if we would have fucking, if that was the damn crawl, like just him yelling, I mean, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that being in Fortnite was a goddamn travesty. But it is what it is, people. I mean, we can lament about it all we want to, but, you know, we have what we have.
Is this real life anymore?
I know, when
Is this
Fortnite
even real?
literally...
I can't believe it. I cannot believe this shit, dude. When I heard that Disney bought this motherfucker, I was like, all right, here we go. Never did I think, sitting now in 2020, when the trilogy's all said and done, I'd be sitting here going, it's almost the goddamn prequels again. Not nearly as bad as movies and acting, but in terms of the letdown, that's where I'm getting.
I will say that for the first 3 years, like, everybody was riding high, like TFA.
Bro, we were the biggest cheerleaders. That's why people
Yeah.
accuse us of being shills. It has nothing to do with shilling for Disney. I genuinely like what they were doing. I mean, yes, TLJ and TFA didn't really match up, but I was like, hey, whatever. It's the middle movie. The end movie can do whatever. And now that we're here, it's like, oh, wow, okay, well, yep. Definitely didn't live up to my expectations yet again, and I did not see that coming a mile fucking away, just like I didn't see it coming from the maker himself. It's shocking what's been going on with Star Wars cinema. It's like, maybe it really was just those first three, that's it.
I mean, we'll see, but one thing that we do have to look forward to is this new Project Luminous
that was a fucking aces segue. We
sometimes
none of the speaking of, none of that gimmicky shit. You nailed that.
Sometimes
You get a star, buddy. That's gonna go in his star chart.
Yeah, we'll have a highlight reel of all of me and Matt's good segues, and that'll make.
There's not many. I'll tell you what, it will go pretty quick.
But I mean,
We're
this
a bunch of
project.
hacks.
Project Luminous, dude, this is like our new hope. I mean, if you want to go back to 1977,
it's not even that,
hope,
honestly. I mean, I've kind of dug into this a bit. I don't think I cleared it up here. Yeah, I definitely didn't because I suck. But I got a little update on this, by the way.
Okay, hit us with it.
I mean, it might be beneficial to my renewed interest in the comics, but apparently Luminous projects are going to be strictly reading based.
Okay, so that's
like, books, comics. Some people thought it might extend into video games and potentially movies. I'm not saying they may not live in the same era, but it's not going to be as interconnected as we thought across all these different media platforms.
Yeah, I mean, the original announcement, well, not even an announcement, but the leak from MSW and Star Wars Leaks basically called it a multimedia approach to the new, era of Star Wars, which does not seem to be what it's going to be according to Matt. So,
yeah, I mean, I guess you could say comics and books are different, but it does not look like it's going to be shows and games and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, like I said, the new comic angle, I could potentially, that's new fodder. It's new canon to chew into, and if it does at least live in the realm of what some of these new movies may be or new shows, why not? I know we sound, we sound a little angry these days, which is good. It was nice. It's kind of nice to get back to our roots, I guess, or at least my roots. I'm trying to drag Nick down with me at all times in this Star Wars hell, but I can't do it. But why not? Let's give it a try. I think this is what we're supposed to get something by the end of February, though. That's the whole point we're talking about.
24th, 2020. This is according to Clayton Sandell, and for those of you who don't know, Clayton Sandell is a legitimate ABC correspondent, but he's just a massive Star Wars fan, and because of his level of access, being this,
he's probably in the know a bit. I mean, ABC, Disney, all the same shit. Doesn't matter.
Exactly. So Clayton Sandell put out on his Twitter a couple of days ago, January 28th, the countdown is on, Star Wars Project Luminous to 24/20. And obviously there is no further kind of explanation to what this was going to be. Is it going to be a novel? Is it going to be a comic book? We don't know yet, but we did hear about the Project Luminous from MSW, from Star Wars Leaks. This is going to be the next big expansion of Star Wars.
Yeah, and it should be set in this High Republic era, which has now been canonized through the Rise of Kylo Ren. So.
Yes, it has. So, I mean, I'm interested to see what it is.
Right. Now, the books, man, that's a bit of a turn off for me. I'm not going to lie. And that's just me being ignorant for sure.
That, I don't know if it's just because now that I'm an adult, I have very little personal time to myself, like going to work, coming home, cooking, just having.
Hell yeah, dude, that's 100% it. Because these motherfuckers, unless you're getting an audio format, and I mean, get out of here.
They're fantastic books too, like the new Thrawn trilogy. And look, there's going to be another fucking Thrawn trilogy coming out soon too. The new Thrawn trilogy is cutting up to be fantastic. I'm on the second book. I've been on the second book for a couple months now. Really fucking good stuff. I have the Resistance Reborn book that is the prequel novel.
To read.
Yeah,
that's the problem. I agree. All this stuff's fantastic. It just sucks to read.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that. Everyone out there listening.
300 pages.
You know as well as I do, it sucks to read. Don't tell me you like reading.
The only person I know that really loves to read is my girlfriend. She would read instead of watch physical visual content. And it's weird to me.
Yeah.
But
it is. Yeah, I agree with you. Since you said it, I'm going to agree.
But I mean, I'm looking forward to it because if all of this plays out like we're hoping it does.
My brain's starting to hurt just thinking about reading a long book.
Yeah, 300 pages with
and
all
I'm not
words
stupid.
and no pictures.
I know I kind of play like I'm dumb. I'm not dumb.
He's a college professor.
But I kind of am. I'm not kidding. I'm thinking about reading right now, and it's making my head hurt.
You're like, fuck
it's
that,
too much. It's too much of an ask.
So I hope it is I hope it's a comic run. Man. I'll say that because it is easier to digest a comic run than it is a novel.
Well, I think there will be comics, and if there's a novel, I think we almost have to lump that on you.
Yeah, I think that becomes
have to put that to a vote, okay, and passed.
Yeah, Nick has to read the book.
Well, here's the deal. Try to commit to the audio books. I know you don't commute much, but I don't know if you're allowed to listen to shit at your desk, cube, whatever. Maybe just sit there and... my problem is I'm such a sports talk and Stern junkie. I can't commit to listening to anything but that.
Yeah, I can probably do an audiobook. The thing is, my problem with an audiobook is if I sit there and I'm listening to an audiobook and I'm clicking around, my mind is just all over the place. I won't be able to focus on what's being said to me in my ears. I'll have to do it fucking subliminal style where I go to
dropping
sleep.
A mill here and a mill here on ads that you weren't supposed to do.
Exactly. I would be writing all of my ad copy would just be words from the book that it's right. In my head.
It'd be blah, yeah, Facebook, blah.
Oh, it would be
Solo.
It would be a mess. So, I will commit to doing it. If it is a legit novel, I will buy it. I will put off the ones that I'm reading.
Thank God.
And I will read it first up. So
because I always know I can just go to Reddit and have those assholes just leak all the important
just
shit
tell me what
me.
happened in it.
Yeah. Like it's like the Reddit Cliff Notes shit where you're not really even sure if you're getting the real shit, but it's still better than reading every page.
Yeah, it's like I'm sure some of this is right.
Well, yeah,
like,
because then
I'm
you
getting
dive
the
into
gist of
comments, and some people are like, "Oh, I've read it. This is not true," and other people are like, "Yeah, it is. No, it's not." And then they get into their like I don't know if you ever notice on certain forums, especially Reddit, but it's almost like they have their own inside jokes.
Oh yeah.
Where then just a major chain will break off, like a comment chain will just go nuts off the main thread. Like, I'm not making fun. I've never been a forum culture. I've never got into that.
No, I was never a Redditor, or even before Reddit, like you said, kind of got into like forum trolling or just reading
I'm
forums.
on Reddit every day to look for shit.
Now
That's just smart. Like, yeah, like you'd be dumb not to be looking at Reddit just to find stuff. There's every day for the most part, Reddit's going to have something that could be worthy to talk about on the Star Wars Time Show or even throw up on .net. So
yeah, I mean, one of the big things that they came up with last time was fucking George Lucas's killed show, right?
Yeah, dude. How about that? So last week, just kind of out of nowhere, really. I mean, I guess I don't know if the studio that helped him work on, we're talking about Star Wars Underworld, by the way. So this was a legit project back in the last days of the maker's time with his baby, okay?
Yeah.
Apparently, this is what Star Wars 1313, the game, was going to tie into. It was going to be set in the underbelly of Coruscant, the seedy streets, where maybe the Mandalorian would have been hanging out. Those types of characters. So out of nowhere, Nick, someone dumps all this test footage.
Yeah,
I mean, like 9 minutes.
Footage.
It's essentially a 5-minute demo reel with decent to rudimentary VFX work being done, all the live action shot, some special effects here or there. And then you get to see them actually shoot it on all green screen. That's where you know it's legit. I mean, if it's a Lucas project, it's going to be all green and almost zero practical shit, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%. And just like watching this video, the thing, because there's a lot of fantastic VFX artists that work on YouTube.
It's so George, though. Right when you hit play, it's like, my God, that's my buddy right there. You can tell.
It's 100% Lucas. And then, like, you can see the production value being put into it. Like, the set is full of extras. There's people in legit stormtrooper outfits. There's people dressed as fucking weird aliens.
So some context here.
George.
This show was essentially developed and worked on from the end of Sith until 2010, so 2 years before he sold it. And
5 years of work.
Now when I look at this and think about what happened, I literally think this is why he sold.
He killed it. Yeah, this is what killed him.
I think he was like, you know what? I can't. I don't want to shell this type of money out to do this because, Nick, he had 50 scripts in the bank.
Yeah.
So about 100 episodes of content if they were, I think they're going to be like 43 minutes, so traditional hour-long show without commercials.
Yeah. And
dude, okay. Here. It's like, George. I'm sorry, man. We're sorry. Why would you take this from us? There was going to be a planned 2-episode arc featuring Vader going to the underbelly to quell a rebellion by himself.
Yeah. I mean, this is...
Dude, right there, that could be the pitch. Like, if I was Joe Trillionaire, if some guy came in and said, I'm going to pitch this Star Wars project to you in essentially one sentence, I'd be like, yeah, whatever. And he says that, or she says that, I'd be like, all right, fuck, let's go.
All right, yeah, here's
now.
$500 million.
now.
Because this is what, like Matt said, 43-minute long, up to 100 episodes. Do you realize how much fucking money that would have cost? Especially back in 2005, 2010, when, like, you still had to pay a decent chunk of change for VFX. Like, VFX have gotten a lot cheaper now. They've gotten a lot better. They're a lot more affordable.
Well, it's just it's because you don't need as many bodies. So you don't need as many machines. They can just process shit quicker. I mean, that's why. I mean, all you have to remember is it literally took 3 years between Star Wars movies back then to make them, and the shooting was done in whatever 6 months.
In like 6 months, it was
even
all post processing.
Yeah,
VFX
just to get
work.
all the VFX processed.
Yeah, it's nuts to think that this is what George was. This was basically his ultimate culmination post Revenge of the Sith.
It broke
was
his back.
Show.
It had to have broke him. This had to have broke. I don't know if it was like, God, I've spent 5 years on this and I still can't figure out a way to produce it to where I can still have total control.
That's
and just
the
get
problem,
someone to distribute it for me.
I think that was the problem, because if you think 2005, 2010, that is not direct-to-consumer streaming content yet. Like, Netflix was
I think
around.
Netflix just started streaming then, very basic streaming then.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just do a little Netflix kind of thing here. And, like...
It was very close to that. But, yeah, there was nothing. There was no streaming services back then. So, and George always fronts everything. Like, he only partners up with studios to distribute.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he doesn't have a bankroller. Like, you know, when he first did the original trilogy, yeah, I think Fox helped him produce the following two after the first one. But, like, he doesn't have a Disney or Fox or a Columbia Pictures or anything behind.
He is the Lucas and Lucasfilm, for those of you that didn't know that.
Yeah, exactly. So he had nobody just giving him
the
money.
Goddamn studio.
Yeah, like, he had nobody fucking giving him money. Like, it was crazy.
But it
like,
just, I mean, was it? They 50 scripts all the time. I mean, just this demo reel, the Vader arc. I mean, was he just defeated by the money and just said fuck it all?
I think it was a combo. It was the combo of the money and it was a combo of the distro, because if he was doing this and say everything went well and after 5 years of development,
the distro. You're right.
Yeah, like he's like, I'm ready to release it. The only way he would have been able to release it is on traditional cable television, unless he would have made a deal with Showtime or Netflix or not Netflix,
Right,
HBO,
yeah.
Cinemax, something like that, where he does a Game of Thrones style show.
Yeah.
And but
That's
that
what
wasn't.
he should have done, 100%.
That would have been the only way to do it, because your only other option then is to go to Fox and say, like, okay, I have 100 episodes of TV content, 43 minutes each.
You know what else it could have been? Maybe he did. But then you got to think there was a little bit of stink on Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, I can remember, and trust me, you probably think I'm making this up. I can remember back then, 2006, there was a rumor about this show. And it was they were like, it's going to be fucking live action TV Star Wars. And I was like, holy
dude,
shit.
I honestly think they were talking about in Star Wars Insider. I mean, I think it was pretty out and open.
Yeah.
And it was just another one of those things like 1313 that just disappeared. And then you had the sale and everything just kind of got swept under the rug. And you're like, all right, well.
But
there you go.
I mean, that's the problem, is like, he didn't have an avenue to release it. If
Do
this
you
would have
think he goes to Disney like, hey, I've also got this shit. Do you guys want this? And they're like, yeah, wink, wink, we'll do something. And like, yeah, whatever, fucking burn this shit.
I don't know. It could. I mean, like, if literally the content was there, Disney probably fucking owns this. Like, if it
that's
was,
what I mean. Just looking at it now, it's like, let's go. Let's throw some dollars at this, Bobby boy. Come on.
Yeah, like, take the scripts and see what's workable now, because
I'm all about good prequel content, my friend. I don't want to hate the prequel, at least live action sense. I love the animated stuff,
but if they can take it, and if this is the route that they're going to go for the next 2-3 years for Star Wars live action content as Disney Plus, like, if you have 100 hours of, or 100 episodes of bank content that you haven't looked at yet, have fucking somebody on the story group, Pablo, whoever the fuck else, read through this shit and see if it's workable.
We're essentially just screaming into a black hole right now.
I know,
because
right?
Even if we had their ear, they would never do anything that intelligent. They've already shown us that they have really no control over at least the cinematic stuff.
Yeah, so
nothing.
I mean,
but
look,
dude, this goes back to the comic stuff. The once for Vader. This would have been it, because this was set post Sith, but still kind of young within the Empire Rising.
Yeah, I mean, the
2-part Vader thing that could have happened 10 more times.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what could happen with this Kenobi series now that it's being rewritten? But like, this is an opportunity. Maybe we do see Kenobi get off of Tatooine. Maybe he does encounter Vader. Maybe, there's a lot of possibilities with that series because of the time period that it is set in, which is the same time period that this
I still don't think Kenobi and Vader can meet face to face because of the line on the Death Star.
Yeah,
it would kill that. Like that,
yeah,
that would be too much for some fans, even me.
I don't think that they could meet, but I think that he could like try to track him down.
Yeah.
Like if he's quelling a rebellion,
I mean, not even track down. Force visions like Rey and fucking Kylo.
Yeah, something. But I mean, I think that. And look, you can't fault Disney for this. This is something that George threw away on his own. And like Matt said, before the acquisition.
You would, like you said, though, you'd still think they may own this. It's not, unless he deleted it into the recycle bin of the world. I don't know. I mean, I would assume they got it, but it could have been, hey, fuck it. We're going to sit on this. No one cares. We're doing our own thing.
That really depends on what the contract stipulated. Because, like, if the contract didn't mention unreleased and unproduced projects, then he wouldn't have to give this to him. Like, if the contract that he signed with Disney was only for, like, the Star Wars license and previously released and produced content, then this show could have just been kept under George's bed and never fucking handed over.
And that's the sad thing. It's like, I know everyone wants to hate Disney sometimes, but without them, look what he was doing. Look what he was willing to just literally never let the world see.
Throw into the garbage can, like 5 years of work into the fucking trash. And look, if this would have been done if this was 2010 to 2015 instead of 05 to 010 or to 10, we probably would have gotten it on a direct-to-consumer streaming service like Netflix, because that's when Netflix hit its fucking stride. Like, Netflix
was it 2010?
2015 was like, think about Netflix 2015, 5 years ago. Like, I was in Austin and Netflix that was the only fucking TV I was watching. Like, that was when Netflix had really come into its own in terms of
did we ever figure out when it first got streaming, though? Because I think it was before 2015.
2013, somewhere around there. Hold on. It's Netflix in April 2011 had over 23 million subscribers in the United States alone, and then changed its pricing, charged customers for mail rental service and streaming services.
I was on
separately.
Netflix when I was getting motherfucking shit in the mail.
Yeah,
man.
I was getting it in. So it was like 2011 is when they announced the streaming and direct mail split that never happened. So then the streaming had to come out in 2010-ish.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. So, but by 2015,
crazy, man. Fucking Netflix. Look at that.
Yeah, 10 years. But like, it's been around. Like, streaming service has legitimately been around for 10 years. But like in 2010, it was literally like them streaming like shit that was already out. Like, they were streaming fucking Friends and show. They didn't hit their content production.
Oh yeah,
until 2015.
Totally. No, they when they started streaming, they were just trying to essentially give you their DVD Blu-ray service online.
Yeah, exactly. So if it would have been 2015 and George is like, I got it, but I just need somewhere to put it out. I mean, fucking Daredevil released in April 2015. Like, that would have been where it came to, was Netflix. And it's unfortunate. It's all timing with that, and it's fucking sad because
we've been fucked left and right with Star Wars, let me tell you.
Yeah. So it's really cool. If you guys haven't seen this footage, Matt put up an awesome video showing the footage, going over what it was and kind of giving the SWT spin to it. So go check that out on YouTube. But yeah, man, it's unfortunate. Maybe we can get pieces of this sprinkled into stuff like, Mando or Obi, but we'll never know. So
yeah, like, speaking of Kenobi, I don't have warm and fuzzies about that, but I think we kind of harped on that last week. So
you gotta just
But this, yeah, if you haven't
Pray
checked
to
out
the
this
good
Underworld stuff, please do, because I think it would have had so much potential, especially if the Vader stuff is true. I mean, if that is legit, that's all I want. I mean, Rogue One, that little segment is my Star Wars life, essentially. Like that's why Vader's my spirit animal.
Yeah.
That's everything. I want to see that, but I want full movies, trilogies, seasons worth, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Give it to me.
I 100% agree
All
with
right.
that.
So, speaking of stuff we want and we'll never get, and see, I just did the speaking of. So. Bad, Matt. Bad. Loser. She's letting Nick drive the ship. But, hey, we got another round of leaked concept art from Duel of the Fates, and boy, oh boy, there's some great shit in there. And, the disclaimer will be put out. Yes, we fully understand. And I think we sometimes have to put this out for you all. Even what we're about to talk about would never have been real life, because this is coming from a script, a draft, whatever you want to call it, that predated Carrie Fisher passing. So this, too, would have had to have been fundamentally changed.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm sure some of the core concepts and, plot threads could have stayed, but like you would have had to, like Matt said, fundamentally.
Some of the bigger moments would have been massively changed, like the entire fucking ending. The big save, all that shit. But anyways, dude, we got, I think it was like 20, 28 or whatever screens. We'll just kind of like we did last week, flip through them all, give a couple comments, maybe be smart asses, maybe appreciate it, maybe cry, maybe punch our dicks. You never know, right? So up first, pretty cool shot. I mean, in this one, this set feels like it. A lot of them come from the opening act of the movie, where, again, if you remember what's going on in this version of Episode 9, the good guys, when it starts, they're trying to sabotage. Is it Kuat?
Yeah,
the
I've
Kuat
always said
shipyards.
Kuat shipyards, drive yards, whatever you want to call it.
Right, so they're on there trying to sabotage the shit. So we got BB-8 kind of decked out in FO ball droid attire. It's like he's got a little different headpiece on to disguise himself.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's pretty slick.
It's pretty fun. Something similar to kind of what we got in TLJ, where we put the garbage can on top of him, was rolling around pretending to be
but
a
little more spy authentic. Yeah, their budget in the spy department has definitely gone up in this movie.
Yeah. Then next up, we get a shot of the Kuat shipyard's orbital ring.
Right, because that's what they're trying to blow up, because it's essentially sucking minerals and shit from the planet to help build all the ships. But that's what they were there to blow up, and they ultimately fail to blow the whole thing up.
Yeah.
So just a shot. Looks, we would have seen what was going on down in the village on Kauai. You got some local residents, some dog-like aliens, ties flying around.
Yep. And then next up, we get a shot of storming the Star Destroyer.
Look at this, dude.
Ray Pofin. That looks really cool.
So Rey's in she's not whipping the Jedi Luke thing. She's like, I kind of say in my video, which I did a video on this, so shame on you if you didn't watch that, but that's straight up Han Skywalker to me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a perfect blend of both of them. I mean, I believe that's Luke's belt, in fact.
Yes, that utility belt that he had from Episode 4, very similar.
No, I think that's his. I'd have to look at my Barbie doll, but I think
one.
That's his Jedi.
Okay. Yeah.
Whatever. It could be Han's. Like, either way, it's a belt that reminds me of that. But I mean, she's got the gun on her side. I mean, it looks like she's kind of Island Journey, but that's where I get the Han Solo influence there. I mean, it almost looks like a vest setup.
Yeah.
But then she's got that double bladed.
Yeah. The double bladed was something that I was really hoping for, but
it does. And that's another thing. You just got Rian Johnson teed it up. Like, yo, you could just, in between movies, just have her build a saber, kind of like Luke did.
Yeah.
And everyone would be cool with it because it would have made narrative sense. And no, we don't. We don't get that. We get like all fucking soldered together with a leather patch over it. But anyways, yeah, so you get the double bladed. But look at the dudes, man. I mean, it's like
They're whipping like almost.
It's almost like
looks
Phasma armor, or
yeah.
I don't know if it's just the way the artist shaded it, if it's just standard trooper armor. But I love Poe and Finn fucking decked out in that shit.
Yeah, I know. It looks awesome. Like a full infiltration mission. Like they were dressed up like stormtroopers, just like Luke and Han were in Episode 4. It was really awesome.
I mean, you do get somewhat of this in Tross. You know, I mean, it's Poe, Finn, and Chewie, but Rey's on the ship too, and they are kind of acting like a strike team. And I believe Oscar even said that's kind of what they've been practicing for the year, whatever, in between movies. And this shot in particular evokes that. You know, it's like they're Navy SEALs or something, but in Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really cool fucking.
So, I mean, it does look like they end up managing to blow that shit up, but they also steal this Eclipse Star Destroyer, which just looks wicked. I mean, it has this huge fin in front of it.
Yeah, like a fin that extends down from the tip of the Star Destroyer. I don't know what the purpose of that is, but yes, it looks really fucking cool.
Yeah, it just like ram shit in half, you know? You could like cut other Star Destroyers in half. That's how big that thing is.
Yeah.
So that's them stealing that motherfucker. Then we get a shot here. Now, I just speculate here because I do remember when Kylo is searching for artifacts to make him more powerful or whatever. I'm assuming to get him the Mortis. He does find a Sith artifact, if not a holocron, and the motherfucker explodes on him. Mm-hmm. And it really does fuck him up. And this art here kind of shows that and how he's being healed by these Wommels, they call them, on Moraband. So
yeah, it says that he was basically almost dead. So
right, like he essentially got Vadered, and that's why he gets that new helmet, by the way.
Yeah.
And doesn't just rebuild one from scraps, which when you think about it really makes no sense, but whatever. Here's a great shot of Leia whipping her, ROTJ Ewok braids.
Yeah, looks good. Next
great
up we
shot
have,
again of Ben getting his Vaderized essentially.
Yeah, it's like turning more into Darth Vader with the helmet coming down. Shot just like we saw Vader in Episode 5 when he's in his meditation chamber.
Oh yeah, and now I mean this version of the helmet, it's straight up. There's a huge Vader influence, but you could argue some of that Revan's still in there and the Death Trooper.
Yeah,
it looks great. I mean, this shot, if it ever was real, would have looked amazing.
Yeah.
This stuff here, this is kind of new to me. I don't remember reading this in any of the summaries, at least the videos I did. So as usual, I suck. But apparently, I think this would have been like Team B. It would have been Poe, Rey, Chewie. I believe BB-8, whatever.
Yeah.
But they're on the run from the Knights of Ren, and they literally crash the Falcon with light speed into this planet called Wavet.
Yeah.
And then they're chilling there in the next piece. That's just a nice looking shot.
Mm-hmm.
Here's Bonadan. We talked about this last week. Just other looks. I mean, it's
Razor
got like
on
a Kashyyyk feel to it.
It does,
sorta.
like that multi-leveled kind of build structure.
Kashyyyk, but then Canto Bite-ish in the background.
Yeah. Another shot of Bonadan with the razor sails.
Yeah.
And then we see Chewie choking a Knight of Ren on Bonadan, and the quote on the image says Chewie grabs the Knight of Ren, throws him in the air, and shoots him out of the sky like a clay pigeon.
Yeah,
nice.
that would have been as epic as we would have ever seen Chewie do anything, really.
Yeah.
That's a shame. And those are moments that were just missed in general because they could have done that shit in Tross. I
mean,
still don't understand why they reduced the Knights of Ren to essentially bullshit.
I mean, they cut, like you said, JJ filmed Chewie fighting the Knights of Ren, and they fucking cut it for no reason. I don't know who made that. Again, I
got to get people out of there quick.
Yeah, JJ had, and look, you can say this for every filmmaker ever for any, JJ had a story that he wanted to tell in good intentions, and it just seemed like for some reason the studio wanted to screw him, and I don't understand why. So
it's weird, but hey, whatever. Remember, we're in pretend land right now. We can only dream. Next series of shots are just Kylo approaching the temple on Remdakor that he sought out, almost got himself killed.
Yeah, this looks like, the first one looks like, it actually looks pretty reminiscent of the first time he walks up to Exegol, like the big thing on Exegol.
Yeah, totally. I mean, the planet looks pretty blown out, barren, black. So there are. I mean, you got to remember, Trevorrow did get credited.
Yeah.
In Tross, so there's a reason for that. I don't think that was just like hey, we feel bad.
And also, like, you have to give credit if a certain amount of content is used. Like, that is, like, I don't know how fucking movie land works, but I know that, like, if you use a certain amount of content from a previously written draft of a script, you have to credit somebody for it. But yeah. So next shot is showing Kylo and his droid, which is kind of hard to see. It's like a little round floaty droid in front of him.
Yeah, it's kind of like those motherfuckers from Destiny. What'd you call those things?
Ghosts.
Yeah, the ghosts. Exactly.
Yeah. So him and his ghost are navigating the Remnacor ruins, and it looks like he might be walking through some sort of like graveyard here. You can see like armor on the ground. You can see a bunch of other stuff kind of spread throughout the, like, what is it, like banners and shit like that. Kylo sucks the life from a tree on Remnacor.
Yeah, so this would have been after he obviously linked up with Tor Valum, and he's starting to practice this maneuver. And it even looks like the visual that they use with Palpatine. So
exactly, yeah.
We get a new Resistance ship. It's kind of cool looking. When I first looked at it, it reminded me of something from Star Wars Rebels, but then I was like, nah. Like the first Phantom, but nah. This is cool here. This concept of Finn getting locked up in a work camp on Coruscant.
Yeah, again, like some of these things call out like early draft, second draft, or whatever. Like I don't think that this made it into the script leak that was out there.
Yeah, we get the Falcon in a ship battle on Coruscant. And, we talked that Coruscant would have been the climax. You would have had a space. An air battle like within the city skyline of Coruscant, and then that ground battle. So
yeah,
BB-8's involved in that. This is a follow up to I think that shot we were talking about last week with R2.
Yeah. And then you see stormtroopers fighting against Coruscanti citizens.
Yeah, it would have been a very unique looking Star Wars ground battle because we've only really seen in terms of big ones. Obviously Geonosis, that battle.
Yeah.
And that's really it. I mean, you got glimpses of shit on Kashyyyk, minor glimpses of stuff on, was that Felucia?
Yeah.
But this would have been more akin to the wars we fight ourselves these days, in the cities, blowing shit up.
Guerrilla warfare. You see Molotov cocktails flying through the air and stuff like that. So next up, you see Kylo inside of a cave on Remnacor. And this is when he's going through his training with Tor Valum, saying vengeance in the Force, describes it as vengeance in the Force or something.
Yeah, it's when he was going to fight
Vader.
Old Grandpappy and lose.
Yeah. And then next up we see it's almost like a Bob Ross painting, but it's of...
I mean, there's a motherfucking castle up there, it looks like it's in the Swiss Alps or something.
Yeah, so this is Rey gazing at the temple on Mortis. Which is, again, like this whole, I would have been interested to see how they execute this Mortis thing, because the way that Mortis was done in the show, from what I can remember, is like they just showed up there. Like there was no...
Yeah, it's very barren, and it does seem like your visions are just kind of a part of it. So who knows, maybe Mortis renders certain ways for everybody.
People, yeah. Next up, we see Kylo facing off with... Rey on Mortis's temple.
How do you like Rey just kind of just in a straight up ponytail? I mean, that is kind of a big thing for the character of Rey.
Yeah. She usually has like very
the bun system going on.
Yeah, interesting hairstyle. So she would have just been whipping a simple ponytail. Next up is the fucking shot here is literally just a photoshopped image from fucking Yoda from 5. And this is like basically when like Rey is assuming she's dead. She finds out you are a Jedi, Rey Solana, telling her last name, but you will not be the last. Something similar to what we heard in Tross. Find the balance within the light and the dark. Blah blah blah. Kind of getting the spiel from Yoda, Obi, and Luke. Finn reads.
Yeah, it's essentially when they offer her, do you want to come to Jedi heaven or go back?
Yeah, it's the Harry Potter moment where Dumbledore tells him, you can die now or you can go back and fight. So that's just from there. The next shot we see Rey force lifting the Falcon out of a frozen lake.
Yeah, so she's getting it back after, I'm assuming everything's all said and done. Kylo's dead, but Ben's redeemed through death and saving Rey. She chose to come back. She's like, hey, fuck it, I'll go get that thing because I remember we parked it there. And then the last two shots are just kind of closing out with her showing up on Modesta, where BB-8's at, Finn's at, and apparently other little Force-sensitive kids.
Yeah, where she is training her new generation.
The end.
So again, like the art looks cool. I think that this whole the arc of Kylo going to this Remnacor planet and learning some new Force powers would have been really interesting to see. I mean, overall, I think Colin had good ideas, and I think that the art looks pretty fucking cool from it. So
yeah, and from what we've heard, the whole reason he left is it came down to creative differences, and
yeah,
I'm assuming after he's either told to change this because of stuff Ryan was doing, and then obviously the Carrie thing is massive. I mean,
yeah,
he would have had to rewrite major parts because they probably wouldn't have been able to do what JJ was able to do with footage from his film.
Like you would have had to request that footage from JJ. Like, I don't know how that would have worked.
I'm not saying they would have held back the footage. I just don't think it would have worked in the context Leia was being used here.
Oh, no.
JJ literally had to write Leia to account for the footage he had.
You had to take your final main character from the original trilogy and write her down to a way that she could be used in cut footage. Like, I don't think people appreciate how difficult that is.
Oh, it's nuts what he did. I mean, I know Billy Lord, her daughter, filled in as I think during the scene,
the flashback,
the dark scenes and whatnot.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to do that. I mean, this is how
Carrie dying was just massive.
It
was a huge travesty in real life, but for this trilogy, it torpedoed any chance of it.
It fundamentally just changed everything.
It really did. You really, if you're someone out there, you've been angry at something Star Wars, just think about that. Think about Carrie Fisher, one of the main cast members, who's going to have a major role in the final movie, dies.
Yeah.
Before you filmed anything.
Yeah, I mean, the way that I explained it to my friend was like, you basically took Kylo's only link to the light side, only tangible, actual link, not just somebody that he just met in Rey, and you take it away from the entire film. Like he no longer has that thing, and the thing that eventually leads to his redemption there for the whole movie. You have her there for 4.5 minutes or however much screen time she got. Like, it torpedoes it. It's impossible to tell a cohesive narrative tale that is relying on that character when she's dead. Like, it's unfortunate, but that is the world that we live in. So, I mean, external forces, internal forces kind of playing against the whole sequel trilogy, to be honest. And some of them you can blame on Disney, and some of them you can't. Like, you can't fucking blame Disney for Carrie Fisher passing away.
It's just you really got to sit down and reflect on that. Her dying fucked the shit out of Episode 9.
You, like I said, one, if she's alive, I don't think JJ makes this movie. I think Colin still does it. Like, this movie gets made.
Yeah,
like
and that's how we got on this tangent. I do believe that was kind of the final straw with Colin. He's like, fuck. What do you want me to do at this point? And he's like, I'm done.
Yeah, and then even if Colin isn't there, JJ writes an entirely different movie if fucking Carrie Fisher is alive. That is Carrie Fisher's movie if she's alive.
Yes.
Like that's what people don't get.
I think people forget that sometimes, like just how huge her dying when she did really is.
I mean, just go back and like read the interviews with Kathleen and with with Billy and her brother around the time she died. Like, they literally said, like, episode 9 was her film. Like, even Mark Hamill said that, like, she was the star of episode 9. Like, that it was her movie. And then, like, you remove her from the equation and you have to figure out, like, okay, we take away the entire, essentially the connective tissue of this film. How do we build it now? Like, how do we remake this from scratch? And I mean,
it's a bummer. It's a bummer. And
it is.
And lo and behold, we did it again, didn't we? we managed to bum out over what Star Wars could have been, and it really doesn't matter.
Soon enough, there will be enough distance from Tross and from all of these leaks around Duel of Fates and everything else to where, we won't have to kind of dwell on it anymore. I mean, we're right around the corner from Clone Wars releasing, and the one good thing that we always have to rely on week in and week out here at the Star Wars Time Show is our top 5 Star Wars artist features of the week and the toy community in general. I mean, that is what
that is right, people. It is that time. Break out the sirens. You know how we do it. I've been sitting around, laying in my bed in the morning, sharing all these shots that you motherfuckers keep dumping on me, and there are tons of them. Tons. I mean, Nick, it's getting worse and worse. I feel like I almost need to hire someone to start doing this shit for me. I wish my kid was old enough to figure it out, because I'm about ready to pass the shit over to her, because I don't know. I mean, I guess it's finally working. The word of mouth, the community itself, people are actually buying into the shit we shovel into their ears every week for some reason. I don't know why. I guess that's why I call them assholes, but it's working, and we do love you assholes for this shit. It's fantastic. I mean, the interactions throughout the week, I can't stress enough, how much they, make me smile sometimes. It's like, what the fuck? You always got, we permanently now have Greg and Spencer Barron on this top 5 whining bandwagon stuff.
Yeah,
and that's fun. That's fun. They've got a whole little GIF wagon going on our Facebook right now. I can't even see some of the GIFs. They're exploding. I think they've dropped so many in the same damn chat window. But that's what we're here for, right? That's what a community is. Star Wars time. There's always time for it. Whether you're getting top 5 or not, it doesn't matter. As long as you're involved with Star Wars time, you're having a good time,
love you,
right?
And we appreciate you. Yes.
I mean, how many more times can I say the word time?
There's a lot of time for Star Wars time.
Exactly.
Multiple times for Star Wars time.
Oh, speaking of that, a couple shout outs this week. I'm going to start trying to do these more often as throughout the week when I'm commanding the Star Wars Time Show IG. I'm going to start writing down some of the interactions I've had, and maybe talk about them on the show. Because if you're not in the top 5, at least you're in the know, you're in the loop, you're having fun. It's like you're hanging out with us. But our boy, one of the original GOATs, one of the first ever super fans of the Star Wars Time Show, one of the few recipients of the first run Star Wars Time hats.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Everett Kylo dropped a new post today, and in the BTS, the good man is sporting the Star Wars Time hat on backwards, so you can see the branding front and center like a pimp.
There we go.
Have you seen it,
There
Nick?
we go. I haven't seen it yet.
Pull it up right now. We got to give this man his due. He needs some praise here.
I mean, this is something that you called out specifically on air. You were
damn
like, "Hey,
straight," and that's why I know. That's why I know Jesse's a diehard, because that motherfucker listens. I can speak to him through the show. Like when I can speak to you through the show, that's when I know you're a legit fan.
Ah, there it is.
You like that shit?
That's beautiful. Yeah, yeah.
You know what? I may just have to feature that.
I know, right?
I think that. I mean, I'm almost always down to feature Jesse just because I love his work. I mean, he is the man of many explosions, but I feel like I need to throw that in there right there. I mean, that is a shot.
That's beautiful. That's a beautiful
That's
sight
how
to
you
behold
do
there.
motherfucking behind the scenes, my friends. If you have a Star Wars Time hat, that is how you do it. Check him out. Ever Thin Kylo.
It's good.
EVERTHINGKYLO.
Beautiful. But yeah, stuff like that's fantastic. Again, those hats will be coming back around
my
the
boy.
5K mark right now.
Yeah, and
for
those of you, there's a few of you that have put dibs on the first run. Nick and I are trying to work through logistics. I'll be in touch. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We've heard your calls. There's one of you out there that we have to send you one, and that's cryo, man. I mean that dude.
Yeah. Yes.
It's like at this point he's the man. I mean I'm at a loss for words. I mean this guy is dropping like, what was the last one he did of us? Where R2's like shooting our logo out down the Luke, like we're Leia's message. I mean that shit is fantastic. It makes me smile. It gets my nipples hard. So
I think I'm the only one who has any left, and I don't have many left. I think I only have 2. But look, the original run that we did was literally like Matt and I were gearing up to go to Celebration. He's like, dude, I did some hats. You want some? I was like, yeah, fucking bring them on. And that was it. I think it was 10 hats. And that was all we had. And like, there are a very select few, number of people out there who have these. And if you have a Star Wars Time hat right now, consider yourself like, I don't know, you're like royalty, because you're one of
the only reason
who owns them.
The only reason Greg didn't get one from us is because I think it would have cost $30 or $40 to ship there. Or something.
The shipping was insane. They shipped to Australia.
It was weird.
Yeah, it was very, very
True
high.
Perry from Finland, he's been wanting one. He's like, he looked it up himself.
He's like,
if you send it through USPS, I think you can get it here for about $15. All right, buddy. I'll think about it. You're on the short list, so.
Yeah. So I mean,
I think Greg. I like how Greg just customized one. That's my favorite. Greg's always. See, I mean, Jesse got the call out, but Greg's always got his fucking hat on.
Greg whips the hat in almost every picture.
Yeah, all his BTS. So you are our buddy, Greg. Please don't take the top 5 shit so seriously.
Yeah, the top 5 is a prestigious and wonderful award that I will say you've already been a part of, Greg. But now is the time for us to focus on our top 5
Daddy
members.
Nick just laid down the motherfucking law. Sit down, Mr. Bird.
But now it's time for us to get to the top 5 members of this week. And I got to say, like, it's just become so fun because there's so much creativity and there's so much thought put into these shots, and it's from people that we know and people we don't know, and huge accounts and tiny accounts.
That's what I'm liking. I mean, there's clearly a dedicated base of taggers that have been there from day one, and we love you. I mean, it's hard. You probably have a shot sitting in my queue folder somewhere.
Yeah, I mean,
recently there's been a mini explosion of new people. And I have to say, some of them are from the land down under, so I'm sure that is Greg's influence. So again, you can't thank you enough,
assume
my friend.
That Greg goes on a Australian road trip to just spread the word like an evangelist.
I don't know. It's probably a mixture of that and just the way IG's algo target shit. So we're probably getting spammed in other Australian Star Wars toy photographer shit at this point because of Greg.
Yeah.
And just the niche we've developed there. So
it's very possible. But first up this week in the top 5, we have a new top 5 entry from Meus Hamino. MEUS.
I think this is new all around, even just to be featured on IG. So
yeah. So I mean, this is
quite an accomplishment here.
Yeah, I mean, this is really fucking
probably
cool.
From someone who could give a flying fuck, to be honest.
Yeah. So MEUS_HOMINHO on Instagram, and he's from Brazil, I believe, because all of his captions are in Portuguese. But it's a really good portrait shot of, is this a Hot Toys Luke here that we're seeing?
Yeah, it's got to be Hot Toys Sideshow. I mean, it's definitely 1/6 scale. You can tell by the hand joints, which are always rough, but that's just how they are. I mean,
yeah.
I remember Trevor 1/6 shooter. He did an example of, he has a technique where he'll actually, I don't know what the fuck it is, but he essentially paints over the joints so it looks like a seamless arm hand connection.
Interesting.
But either way, yeah, man. I these are figures I regret not being into 1/6 scale earlier. I mean, especially with all the fucking money I spent on Funkos. My God. My God. How many of these I could have, which are, beautiful little Star Wars Barbie art dolls. But anyways, you can't get any of these anymore. You can't unless you.
Oh, really?
Oh no, dude! You have to go to like celebrations or toy shows to get this type of shit.
Yeah,
now.
like trade shows or something like that.
You can't get the 1/6 scales. They're not like little peg warmers. I mean, maybe you could find one at a Disney park, but I doubt it. I mean, they go all newer Disney Star Wars inventory. But once these things sell out, at least on Sideshow, I mean, I don't know where else you get these unless you live overseas. They're pretty much gone. You might have a chance to get on a wait list, but that's your best bet once these fuckers sell out.
Yeah, I mean, what's good about this shot from Mayus Haminu? So he has the A New Hope Luke here in his his Episode 4 garb. He's holding the Skywalker family blade, but it's just like the little details, like. Obviously this figure is beautiful, but like the way that he's positioned Luke's head, the reflections of the saber that he put in Luke's eyes.
I was gonna say that's the catcher for me right there.
Oh yeah, dude, that's like it pulls
the eye reflection.
And then just like the way that he put the glow on his hair, his face. I mean, Mayus Hamino really took the lighting of this shot to the next level, and that's what really makes it pop. Like it's a very close-up shot of Luke, and you get the glow of the saber, and then that saber is what really kind of ignites the rest of the shot. So it's just a fucking fantastic job here in the post-processing work done by Mayus Hamino on the shot. So at MEUS_HOMINHO.
This is shit. I need to get back to this stuff because I had a little shoot yesterday. I got the Comedian, which is essentially the way of not paying license, I guess, to say the Joker figure.
Yeah, yeah.
He's all decked out in the maroon or red suit, whatever you want to call it. 3 heads, different face paint, sculpt. It's a great Barbie. But I set him up. I was like, fuck it, I'll do some indoor. I haven't done indoor shoots in fucking ever. And I just start going. I'm like, God damn, I love indoor. I started outdoor, and I thought that was the only way to do it. But indoor, you have so much more control over the lighting. And you can just, without any elaborate background, maybe just a light in the background, you can just, the way you can manipulate light with either atmosphere aerosol or any type of fog or anything that's going to kind of reflect or diffuse light, it's just crazy some of the effects you get. And I did a shoot with the Comedian. And I don't know, I think I got some fucking gems. I'm sure IG will kick me in the balls and fucking pull my hoodie over my head and throw me in a toilet and be like, ha, ha, ha. Whenever you think you have a really good shot, trust me, it's not that good, but we'll see. Look for it on a Toy Pop session. Yeah, that's me doing some self-promotion.
I mean, there was you put out a good Kenobi yesterday. I mean, that Kenobi that you put
I
out,
shot that in May of last year. just to give you some insights into some of the shots I've been releasing lately. Most of them were shot many months ago.
That was that's the Matt Haywood special.
It's stupid, and I'm trying to get better at that. I've almost got my backlog of post edits. I think under 30 or 40 individual shots.
Very nice, very nice. But
yeah, sorry there, Mayus Hamino or Haminho. I like that. Haminho.
HOMINHO. So Mayus Hamino, first time top 5 entry, and it is a beautiful shot of Luke A&H style. Next up is this is, reading the captions and stuff like this, I found out that this is an actual Galaxy of Adventures figure. Is this right, Matt? So this is from Cell5000 on Instagram.
Yeah, man. These, I agree with him. I have not collected these just because at some point in your life you do have to draw a line. You can't have all the Star Wars. You really can't. I mean, unless you're just filthy rich, it's not economically sound. So I drew a line at these, but I do agree with Cell 5000 here. I love this line because it does kind of have that cartoony look, but you also get a little bit of posability, and they are good looking figures.
They are. I mean,
they are the smaller size. I mean, these aren't like the 6-inchers, but I don't think they're quite as small as the 3 3/4 inch either. Maybe they're like a 4-incher,
like a tweener.
Yeah, that's what they say about my weenie sometimes.
It's a tweener.
Yeah.
But
In between 3 and 4 inch.
I mean, so that's what I was going to ask you about specifically with this figure is that the posability looks pretty good because what we see is Kylo Ren in the Galaxy of Adventures art style, which is really fucking cool. You heard Matt talking about it earlier in the show. Posed really well. He has the Tross style
I bet this thing
helmet.
has about 10 to 11 points of articulation, which isn't bad for a little figure.
Yeah, and the way that Cell 5000 has him posed is really kind of cool. I mean, he has the Tross style helmet underneath his arm.
Yeah, good lighting here too. I love that how we got the reflection off the blade. I'm assuming that's done in post or at least enhanced in post, but it looks good. Nice contrast.
And just all around, this figure looks really cool. The pose that Cell 5000 has him in it works really well. The post processing is really cool. I like how he has him like this could be Kajimi because he's standing on a snow planet. Mm-hmm. You got some snow coming down in the background. It's just an overall really powerful shot here on a figure that you don't see that often. The Galaxy.
No, you're right. Not many people shoot this line. There have been a few. I do like it. Like I said, it's just one of those deals where you just have to say, all right, buddy, stop it.
Yeah.
So your kid needs to eat.
But you can play with the figures too.
That's what I say, but some people don't agree.
So this is at Cell_5000 on Instagram. Absolutely fantastic shot here. Really cool line. Really cool overall picture, sir. It's a new account too, or a low follow account. I'll say only 600 followers. So hopefully we can get Sean.
Really, I thought Cell's been around longer than that. Yeah, let's go. Let's get Sean up there, man. He's got some good stuff in there. That's a nice looking Punisher shot. Scrolling through his feed.
Punisher, this fucking
Ant-Man look at his. I never do these. I always forget. People tag me to do these, Nick. If you're looking at Cell stuff here. But every month there's a tag that goes around, essentially month, name, year, fave toy photos.
Yep.
And the idea is you post them and you tag some people, and if you get tagged, you should do it. And I get tagged, and I sometimes don't do it. It's not because I'm too good. I just fucking forget.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, look at this. That's a good portfolio.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the guy has some excellent
He's got
work
expensive
here.
taste in figure collecting. There's no doubt about it. Definitely a Hot Toys guy. I'm fucking pissed at myself I didn't get that Stan Lee.
Oh,
I'm not a huge Marvel guy. Like I love Marvel, but it's not even close to how much I'm into Star Wars. But someone like Stan Lee just in the geekdom, like the geekiverse.
Yeah, it's just like
he's someone you just have to love and worship.
I mean, just the regular cultural zeitgeist because of what Marvel turned into. Stan Lee is a god.
Oh yeah, and that's why I'm bummed I fucking dilly-dallied on this, because this is another one right there. I mean, this size, once he's gone, he's gone. I do not believe you can get him anymore.
Wow.
But imagine if they made a George Lucas like that. Like,
dude,
I don't know. You probably wouldn't have remembered this because this would have been during Celebration 2. But the big figure there that I waited like 6 fucking hours to get was the George Sackle. And it's essentially George Lucas manipulated, but it was him dressed as a rebel pilot. So imagine if they do that in 1/6 scale like this.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Hot Toys, that would be fucking crazy.
Georgie boy. Yeah, anyways, Cell, good shit, man.
Yeah, at Cell_5000.
I like Cell. He's someone I've been tagging on my personal account, and he so far hasn't sent me death threats or hate mail yet.
Yeah, mean comments. So next up is
this is my personal favorite of the week. I
figured that this was going to be up there. So this is from Yinkeet.
Down.
Yinkeet0675 on Instagram. He's definitely been in our top 5 before. It's one of Matt's Exclu Collective buddies.
Oh yeah, he was one of the OG SWT, I think, features top 5ers. But
I think he was within the first 2 or 3.
I love this shit, man. I love that he ran with this, and what he did is he recreated some of the concept art we were just talking about last week.
Yeah, from Colin's episode 9 from Duel of Fates, and it's the shot of Luke catching Kylo's lightsaber in Force Ghost form.
It's fantastic.
It is. It's just a really fucking cool. So like he clearly is a member of the Fandom Menace, hates Tross, and only wants Duel of Fates to ever be shown. So we can put Ying in that column here, so much so that he is recreating art from it. I mean,
the crazy thing is, Nick, is that the head sculpt on this figure, which is not, I don't know if this is a Black Series body, but this is not a standard head sculpt. This is one, I actually think South P24, who we featured, he's one of the customizers.
Yes.
Paul, I believe is his name.
South P is.
I think he made this for Keat.
Wow.
And it really does look like the head in the concept art, which is uncanny.
It does.
To think that that Paul kind of nailed that. But yeah, I mean, I just, as I said in the caption I put on the shot, a masterful recreation of Trevorrow's concept art.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, this is an absolutely fantastic recreation shot here. It's beautiful
with the robot arm emoji.
Yeah, yes, because
everyone gets an emoji, by the way, when I share one. It's just how we roll.
Yeah. So at YINGKEET 0675.
Yeah, he's a toy photography machine. I mean, this guy literally puts out. Sometimes it feels like he puts out 6 new shots a day.
Yeah, I mean,
either Star Wars or he's big Marvel DC as well.
Yeah, a lot of Marvel. You get some Joker DC shots coming here as well. I mean, Star Wars. The guy has, I mean, so he even has some lewd toy photography.
Oh yeah,
between Rogue
he
and
gets some sexy time too.
From Rogue and Cyclops.
Keep going, dude. I'm pretty sure he's got some sexy Rey.
Oh man. Keat, what are you doing, man? He's got naked Wolverine. Oh my God!
I'm telling you, he's got nudie Ray down there. You might have to go a few swipes, but oh yeah. His last nude shoot was with Logan. It was fantastic.
Oh man, what a mind, what a concept here from Keat. So give
see
him
what
a
I mean?
follow.
I mean, the guy literally.
Oh yeah,
literally content for days,
pumping out shots left and right. He's got some, what is this? He's got fucking, is that Maria Hill and Black Widow fighting in towels? Oh man. Or it might be Scarlet Witch. I can't.
Nudie figures are the best.
So yeah, give
Nudie Ray. Nudie Ray was awesome.
That's pretty, she's probably way down there. I'd have to scroll down even more.
Wow. I mean, look at this character. Literally, he's got titty tassels on.
Oh my
stuff.
God, man!
I like how he kind of soft proof shots. I love that. It's glow.
Wow, some really lewd stuff here. Anyway, at YingKeat0675 on Instagram, give him a follow.
A little perv boy.
All right, so next up we have a returning top 5 member, again in a format that we have never featured him in, at least on the top 5, and this is a Sith load of Lego coming back.
Yeah, how about this? I was wondering if you were going to pick up
series.
on a Sith load kind of switching up genres. I mean, I'm not going to call it a Haywood Pop the Black Series transformation, but it might be.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that a Sith load of Lego.
The thing is, though, he's really good at this stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
I look at some of my pop shots. I'm like, how the fuck did anyone give a shit what I was posting back then?
I mean, one, come on. Again, Matt self-deprecating as always, but I mean, Sith load of Lego. I mean, he's been featured many times for his absolutely fantastic
this is one
Lego
of Nick's
stuff.
Personal favorites because of like the Lego stuff. But I mean, obviously, he's got the same type of eye for the 1/12 scale.
Yeah, for the Black Series line as well. So I mean, what we see here is a trooper shot. Yes, the Bucketheads still make it into my top 5. But it's a really cool trooper. So you have one down trooper. He's kind of laying in the sand, just got roasted by an explosion, and another one trying to come help him up. But in the heat of battle, you can see the laser blast going by, which is one really fucking cool effect that I like. I like that he put in there. And it's just it's another wartime trooper shot, which I really just enjoy all around. That's what Jesse's known for. That's what Sith load of Lego
Troopers, they bend
here.
so well. Like if you get the right trooper, look how good his fucking knee joint bends. That asshole laying on the ground.
Oh yeah, dude.
And these things are assholes. I'll tell you what, man. I went out Sunday and did an outside shoot because up here in the north, climate change and the beauties of that, we had like a 65 day out of nowhere.
There you go.
So I was like, fuck it, I'll get outside because, obviously can't light off fireworks in the house without pissing people off.
Probably a good idea that you don't.
Yeah,
do that,
I didn't think it would go over too well with the other people that live here. Namely my wife and my daughter, but so I go outside. I'm like, fuck it. And I get outside and I can feel the wind and I'm like, I probably shouldn't do this shit. But I'm like, no, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Plus, some guy wants me to record myself doing this shit, and he wants to kind of do a little mini doc on it. So I was like, I can get some footage for him.
That's cool.
So I'm setting shit up, and lo and behold, any toy photographer will relate to this. The wind starts picking up. The first prop falls over. Oh, now that figure falls over. Oh, there goes the fucking light. Okay, now that figure I just picked up fucking fell over again. Okay, I got them all stood up. Now I'm going to go behind the camera. Gust of wind. Fuck, there goes that figure again. You fucking motherfucker. Literally, it gets to the point where I want to take these things and twist them so fucking tight that I somehow Hulk rip their bodies in half. Just twist it, you know how you can just keep twisting hard plastic over and over and over and over, and eventually it'll either fracture or it'll just get so skinny you can literally pull it apart. I want to murder those fuckers. And it was General Kenobi.
Oh, you can't do that to GK.
General Kenobi, and I just dressed him in a new custom wired cape. I was so proud of it. I was like, I can pose it and shit. And the fucking cape was a bitch to put on because it was so little, and I had these fucking sausage fingers, and fuck! Why do I like doing this shit? But anyways, people, if you like to shoot outside and it's windy, save yourself an aneurysm and just take a rain check.
Come back.
There's better things to do. Or find somewhere where you're not in a fucking wind tunnel. Because apparently my setup is in a wind corridor for the neighborhood. Because I get all the big fucking gusts. It was nuts, dude. I mean, it was nuts. You should just, if we ever see Heather again, just remind me to bring this Sunday up. Because it was a disaster for me mentally. I came in like I was a fucking 4-year-old. And I acted that way for probably 3 hours, at least until I had enough drinks at watching the Super Bowl. I finally calmed down. I was in a fucking mess. A mess. I was like, I fucking hate this hobby. Why did I fucking do it? It's a waste of time. I quit. I'm never fucking doing this shit again. What a waste of my fucking time. I didn't get one goddamn good fucking shot either. I can't fucking pose. I hate this shit. I mean, it was such a, woe is me. Wow. I'm such a fucking drama queen.
Oh, yeah.
All over these fucking toys and getting them to, stand in even for me, rudimentary poses. Because I'm not even doing the shit that a Sith Lode's doing here. I don't even fuck with that. I'm just trying to get the motherfucker. Literally, I was like, Kenobi, just fucking stand on your 2 fucking feet, man.
Oh, man.
Nope,
yeah, I mean,
right on his fucking head again. Then you got to dust off his robe again. It's just like, dude, what am I doing?
Sometimes the force isn't even strong enough to have you stand up under wind conditions like that. It's just a pain.
This hobby is so fucking stressful, man. I don't know. I manage to ruin every fucking thing I love. I do.
Oh, man. But you know what? We pass our love through to people like a Sith Lode of Lego for shots like this. And just, I mean, now we know he is a multifaceted, multi-talented man. He can do Legos. He can do Black Series. He can probably do
not
real, actual
to
photography.
one line.
Yes. So at a period, Sith period, Lode period, of period, Lego Lode. On Instagram. The guy is, he's a massive account, and he just tells really good stories with his fucking shots, and it's really cool to see it done. And no matter the series line, whether it be Legos.
Do you have any sense of smell left at this point in time?
I mean, I don't even know if I'm still speaking. There's just ammonia flowing in my brain.
Just to let everyone in, I think I don't know if we mentioned this yet, but Nick is, I think we did. Nick is essentially sitting in a cat box right now.
Yeah, I know. One of my cats, I don't know which one, peed on the floor, and literally it's the same room where my computer is in.
Yeah, before we go on, he's like, man, it'd be great if, hopefully it's a quick one tonight. I was like, hey, we'll see.
It's not.
Nope. It's over 2 hours again. So I'm just like, oh man, I bet Nick is literally hallucinating at this point.
Yeah, I think that I see like lightsabers floating in front of my
you
eyes.
have to be having some sort of a spirit walk moment because you can only huff so much ammonia before I think you start killing a lot of brain cells.
So, I mean, if I come back next week with no recollection of
Oh,
having
yeah,
done
he'll
this
just-
podcast,
No, we'll have to do video because he'll just be drooling.
yeah, it's just, I will have
Like
no.
basically what you're doing is no better than huffing paint.
Yeah, it's really bad. So we'll see how this affects me in the long run,
Oh,
everybody.
I'm sorry. I'm having visuals of Nick sitting there right now, like spraying silver paint to a bag and huffing it, and be like, "I'm good, guys. I'm good.
I'm okay. We can finish the top
Fuck.
5.
All right, sorry.
All right. So the final entry in the
piss
top
Nick.
5, before I can leave this room and breathe some semblance of fresh air, is from @thatbantha milk on Instagram. Another previous top 5 entry.
Oh yeah,
And it's
and one of the greatest handles in the community.
Yeah, @that_bantha_milk, and it's another.
It's up there
trooper
with
shot.
Tuscan Milk Bar.
There's a lot of good ones, dude. There's a lot of good ones. I mean, but this is a really good shot again of a clone trooper, 212th Attack Battalion trooper, dressed in basically full recon gear. So he's got.
It looks like he's wearing gator skin, man.
I was
gonna
say that. That looks like I was gonna say snake skin, but it could be gator. I don't know. That's some pimped out fucking.
It's awesome.
Recon scout gear that he's whipping there. I mean, this is
he
not
doesn't explain like if it's custom or so. I'm assuming someone made this. I doubt this came with this clone, but this is fucking. I mean, this is like a. It must be if we're watching a Clone Wars movie, but it was set like during Vietnam or something.
Exactly. Yeah. If you look at one of his recent shots, like one of that Bantha Milk's recent shots, he's from Germany, and his most recent shot is of a German soldier, I believe, during World War II. Like circa World War II. It's very interesting. I'm not sure if it is World War II. I'm just guessing. But I mean, he does kind of focus on like wartime photography and stuff like that. So, pretty fucking cool. And this shot in particular,
he literally, now that you brought up that shot, he literally has to explain that he's not glorifying Nazis.
Oh yeah, yes, this is historic education.
Well, if he
only,
lives in Germany, I do not believe you're allowed to post a swastika or anything that.
No, yeah, it's against the law. Yeah.
Yeah, when it should be. I mean, fucking A.
Yeah. But I mean, but this is his kind of specialty, is the wartime photography, kind of like Jesse. And
yeah, no, this shot's fucking killer, man.
It is, dude.
1,400 likes on his own. That's how
dude,
it should
I
happen.
can just like seeing the shot, like I can almost, like you said, picture the movie that this is in. Like this guy's like fucking creeping along an embankment. He's got his long rifle, and then he just fucking pulls it up, and he sees. Whatever, he sees fucking Count Dooku in his crosshairs, or something like that, some CIS agent that he's hunting down. I mean, the I don't know if it's atmosphere aerosol in the background or if it's just like natural smoke effects
it has to be or something similar for sure. There's no doubt about it.
I mean, just the setting of the shot, the posing of the shot, the feel of it overall. I mean, this is just really fucking gritty.
It's an eye catcher, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah, so I mean, just really good work here by @that_Bantha_milk on Instagram. Top notch job all around. And that brings us to the end of the top 5 and the end of the show.
Yeah, fucking A, guys. As always, and gals, fantastic stuff. Keep it coming. You know what to do at this point in time. I mean, if you're not already in the circle of friends, or in our case, I guess the circle of assholes, let's do it. There's always time for Star Wars time. So start tagging those shots. Be it art, cosplay, tattoos. It doesn't matter. We love Star Wars art in any form. So on IG, #Star Wars Time Show and tag @Star Wars Time Show. It's very easy. We want those hashtags, though. I love the hashtags. I want that number to grow and grow and grow and grow. Even you big boys, let's go. Start tagging us. Work more or less does it. Come on. Tag. Papa tags. If Papa P can tag, you can tag. So tag away. Let's go, Black Series people like you. That's who I'm talking to. Tag away. If you're already a friend, Share it with another friend, another Star Wars friend, a Star Trek friend, an X-Men friend. It doesn't matter. They will like it. And what do you got to do when you're sharing it? Just tell them StarWarsTime.net. That's all they need to know. That's where our content lives. That's where our hashtags live, our socials. Hell, you can even subscribe to this stupid-ass show on StarWarsTime.net. It's clear as day. Subscribe to podcast. Or just scroll up and down. The shit's in the sidebar. We just added Pandora to our family of networks. So at this point in time, there are zero excuses not to consume the Star Wars Time show. Because remember, if you listen to the show, the Force will be with you. Always.